Just waiting quarter-over-quarter advanced GDP numbers to come out here this morning for the U.S. Shouldn't be too much of a market mover, but we are expecting this Q1 advanced look here, 2.3% expected on this. Previous was 3.4%. So I'll let you know when that pops up. Initial jobless claims expected to come through here as well, 213,000. There it is, 1.6%. That's downside in a pretty big way there. Again, 2.3% expected on that preliminary number for Q1 GDP. Comes at 1.6%. The GDP price index, 3.1, higher than expected, 2.9. Was expected there. Again, initial jobless claims still waiting here, 213,000 expected. Retail inventories just coming through as well, negative 0.1% to the downside. Wholesale, negative 0.4%. Continuing claims also downside. That's not going to be good for the overall market. Meta, pretty ugly. We'll get into this. Obviously, there's a downtick for Meta as well. Yeah, a bit of a move downside here. We're already now 1% for the overall NASDAQ and the S&P at this point. Some of these big tech names not helping, but these numbers not going to help either. Again, that's a significant drop in continuing claims. 1.78 million versus 1.8 million expected there. Again, the early look on Q1 GDP 1.6 versus 2.3. That's way off. I mean, coming off 3.4%, but it does give us a hint that maybe the economy finally slowing down a bit.
Yeah, and I think this is what you want to see if you're looking for rate cuts too, Brendo. I mean, you want to see the easing in the jobs market as well as a slowing down of the growth in the economy. Like 3% prints when we were supposed to be experiencing a recession was a little bewildering. So we'll keep an eye on that. Initial jobless claims coming in here. I don't know if you got that already. All right, so 207,000 versus the 214 estimate.
Yeah, so both sides, the continuing claims and the weekly number, downside for the first time in probably 3 or 4 weeks here in a significant way. So some contradicting numbers here overall. I mean, the GDP suggesting maybe things finally slowing down a bit, but strong employment here as well, guys. Again, the big number on the week going to come up tomorrow morning at 8:30. We'll get that PCE number, this PCE preliminary number that just came out. That's a quarterly number. It's really not watched significantly by the overall market, but 3.7% there on the advanced quarterly core PCE number versus a 3 print. Guys, here we go, downside.
Get hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt real bad. I was actually about to say that to Sean. We were just talking amongst ourselves, and then the camera came on us.
Yeah.
But
somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
No, like it doesn't look great. That said,
what the hell?
in the poll I voted I'd rather fight a bull than a bear today, because that's an easy decision. We're not trying to fight bears.
It's not even really a thing.
And so first of all, there's 2 people on this in the entire show that actually would rather face down a bull as opposed to a bear. And my logic is simple. If a bull comes at you, it can knock you down. If I'm not physically broken, I have a chance to get up and maybe you got a shot. A bear gets you to the ground, it's over, Randy. It's over. Punch him in the nose, man. You're not punching a bear in the nose. You're going to miss, and he's going to kill you. That's what's going to happen. No, it's like, okay.
I mean, I would just say it was up to them and, try to reason with them and everything.
No, you're not.
I mean, I already sold the market. I already sold some Meta to the market here today. I'm short Apple right now, honestly. I just said to myself, that GDP print was really bad. I don't even understand what that even means. 1.6% versus prior 3.4 versus estimate. Like here it is right here on Benzinga.
It's
like Q1 1.6 versus 2.5. That's for GDP. That's off. I'm gonna have to find like the last time we're printing. I feel like that is way off. So I'm just going to have to wait to see here because, look, we've been raising cash for a minute. Man, I was mad at myself. Now it's fine. But we were like, oh my God, I can't believe we got out of Meta. Remember, I was like 487, I couldn't even remember what price it was. I almost want to buy this thing back. I mean, down 15%. I think this is a buy.
400.
Yeah. I was saying that today to Sharif. I don't think we're buying this thing today or anything like that. But this is, spending money is not a bad thing. So I am fine with these guys putting money where they believe fit. I mean, you had to go down a 70% drawdown when they dropped all that money into Meta Labs and Reality Labs, sorry. And now you came all the way back up. This name got hit because the name switched from Facebook to Meta. You know, so, and then it came back and screamed to easily beat and surpass its all-time highs of 385, going up to 525 in that. So we went from 385 down to 100, back to 525, now back to 415. I think there's more downside here into this gap fill of 400, and then we start to buy it. And the other name I buy, now I have two names that I'm dip buying. There's NVIDIA now and Meta Labs. I want to go, not all in on, I mean, don't go all in on your 401ks or anything like that on one sector, but I feel like going into NVIDIA and Meta are two areas that I'm excited to go into. I mean, the amount of cash these guys have.
Oh my goodness.
I really like Meta. I mean, despite me selling some, I still really like Meta.
They print money like a bank.
Even more than a bank.
Actually, that was the comparison that Brendan was making this morning. He's like, yeah, man, these revenue numbers are like JPM. It's not wrong. Or like an oil company, right? Like at the end of the day, look, I mean, when stocks fall, it's never going to be fun. But if you have been looking for stink bids, if you've been praying, if you've been dreaming of 200-period moving averages and things like that, yeah, maybe we get a chance. It's going to be SSR today. That should be pretty obvious. But the 400 level, that seems pretty. It seems plausible in the next couple of days here for Meta. And on sympathy, oh my goodness, guess who has to follow this up tonight? Snapchat has to follow that one up tonight. So they report after the bell. They're only down 4% on sympathy. I mean, if some of Meta's thing is the spend and the Reality Labs and all that stuff, and it's not all bad for like Snap and Pins, but the revenue guide being lower cannot be great for these other adjacent online advertising names. And Snapchat, I'm looking to be short this one on Pops. If Meta does an SSR bounce, I want to fade Snapchat back into that $11 level that broke yesterday. So yeah, it doesn't look good. That was a wild GDP number. I think that's going to be catching a lot of people off guard as well. So there's so much to digest today because there's a wealth of earnings, and we're probably not even going to be able to get to all the earnings. There's so many. Got to stick to the big ones.
All right, a few other things. As far as the advertising side of things, as Neil was just mentioning, yeah, Google up next. Downside in a pretty big way here on the back of Meta, Snapchat as well, pretty ugly. Anything that's advertising related or online advertising related. Here's the trade desk, even downside in a pretty big way. That said, the advertising number for Meta was enormous.
Yeah. And they continue to do really well on that end. It was really the kind of the talk about the metaverse and spending hand over fist on AI that had investors a little worried here. Snapchat getting a bit of a downgrade today from Bank of America, cutting its price target from 16 to 14. Nothing really specific mentioned with respect to digital ad sales. Also, other social media companies as well, Brendo, as you mentioned, Google as well, on the downside here in sympathy with Meta.
Yeah, another one moving around here that you were mentioning here, Caterpillar, huge downside move here. Better part, what is this, 5% now? Just took out the lows, just popped up in front of me again. But yeah, I guess a revenue problem here for Cat.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So I've been in Caterpillar for a while, guys. Since the fall, I'm no longer in it. It is done as a trade for me. I'm pleased with it, but here is the look. Last time around, we really skyrocketed on the back of building out, believe it or not, data centers for AI. So this was actually an AI story for Caterpillar, but from the construction sense. But it doesn't look like they met expectations this time around, Brendo. And the housing starts, really an issue here. Interest rates remain elevated and nobody's building.
Yeah, been super strong for the beginning of this year anyways. This portion of the show, guys, brought to you by our friends at Alfonso AI. Their adaptive AI predicts the best times to buy and sell stocks, helping you increase your odds of generating alpha. Join now. Get 50% off their pro monthly subscription using code TRADER50. Scan the QR code and download the app today.
Yes, sir. Well, obviously, I'm not that happy with Caterpillar either. Like, we were going to be showing the same pattern a lot, and it's that 50 period getting lost on strong stocks and reasonable pullbacks. This is nothing resembling what you saw in Meta, but you do have to wonder, you know, when you talk about like bellwether-ish type of names, like we already had, and it's not like I'm not telling you that the old boys are as important as the semis, but you already had JB Hunt, right? So you get some weakness in transportation. You get Caterpillar showing a few chinks in the armor right here as well, and then look what we had in the big major chip names. Is like we just had Lam disappoint on revenue guidance. When that happened with TSM, it's just like all of these, not necessarily your big name, but all of these bellwether names are showing you this weakness. So, you know, I guess we are fighting bears, whether we like it or not, whether we think the bull's an easier thing to fight. So the Caterpillar is probably not a trade for me. I'm like, in my long term, like I'm not really panicking or selling any of this. This is not one of those stocks for me, but I don't necessarily think this one's a trade, but it does give me more, it just gives me more reasons to be looking short. That's the way I want to think about this. Like I feel if I had come in today and only Meta was down and Caterpillar had blown things out of the water and Lam had somehow managed to buck the trend and blown things out of the water there, and IBM had somehow had a good numbers and had been up, I might have felt a little bit differently if this was just Meta that was down. But it's all of the majors, with the exception of it was AAL and what was the other one? Ford. AAL,
Ford, yeah.
AAL and Ford.
Ford's coming back. I think.
Those are the only two earnings names that I noticed that were. I mean, I'm sure there's something else. A lot of things reported, but those are the only two names that really went to the upside. And neither one of them do I care that much about for the market overall. That's the problem.
The biggest upside was this one, AstraZeneca.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
But this is to this point though. We just talked about Caterpillar a little bit right there, and the thing about this is, see, so now we go over to another name that's not a tech-related name. You know, Sharif was mentioning Caterpillar with AI, so obviously it gets hit a little bit here because it enjoyed such a nice move up. Now you're getting a name, obviously in the healthcare space, some biotech names coming through using AI, but in a different space, like not necessarily for you know, llamas or large language models, things like that. We're gonna find out more about AstraZeneca. But look what's happening right now. I'm short Apple, right there. I mean, I sat in, Brendan said the GDP report, came back down in, I said, what am I gonna short? I picked Apple, and now Apple, we are now 75, 50, 55 cents or so in the money here on Apple. So let's wait to see where this goes. I am bidding 168 quarters, see if we can get out for $1 early here on Apple. I'm gonna be short today, and I'm just adjusting some levels here on the sticky note, but it's gonna be another bearish day.
All right, let's bring in Luis Barredo from Barcelona, Spain, the real trading office over in Barcelona for a recap of what's been a pretty exciting week here. Luis, good to see you.
Good to see you, Brendan.
Lots of little ones to talk about. Once again, small cap land has been back in action. We're already seeing, just looking at my gappers list here, probably half a dozen, if not 8 or 10, that are above 1 million shares already traded today. What's catching your eye so far this morning?
Yeah, we'll narrow this list up to 3 or 4 tickers mainly. We're looking into 2 tickers that were active yesterday, IDE and MTC. Those 2 tickers were running yesterday. Let's see, we have the first red day or they keep pushing. IDE, we're trying to short against the 2 round dollar number. If it fails there, we will see a bleeding day, all day fade probably, but if it holds above this VWAP at 181.90 and breaks $2 number, we will see a second day running. This is for IDE. And then we have MTC from yesterday as well. It's fighting important levels on the way up as well. So let's see how it reacts, if it keeps volume high or it starts to lose volume on the way down. Let's see these 2 tickers. And then we have BRFH. Up big time right now, is up, let me see, 100%. I don't see news on this one. Maybe you can help us in this one.
BRNH?
No, BRFH.
Oh, BRFH. I did see that one. I haven't checked on the Y side of things yet, but big mover as well to $5 as you were mentioning. I mean, this is a stock that barely trades here, Luis, on a regular day, but as you said, 105% right now.
Yeah, it's a 7 million float. It's already traded 5 million. So it's a huge volume comparing to the float. It's going to rotate the float probably several times today. We don't see any news about it. We see some earnings report, but I'm not sure if it's actual reports.
Yeah, sometimes it's maybe just the right person talking about it on social media. Yeah, we'll check that out. AIRE, I'm just seeing topping the list here as well. Alpha Tech Corporation, ton of volume behind this one. Huge runner yesterday as well.
That's the main ticker for us today. As you can see, it broke a high of yesterday after the close, and it keep trading a lot of volume and fighting the resistance 170, 175. There's going to be a lot of volume there. Let's see if it holds VWAP. We might see another short squeeze above 180, 190, and then of course we're going to test $2 round number. It's a main ticker for us today.
HashiCorp was another one a lot of people were talking about over the past couple of days. This one's been, HCP, not NCP. This one's been having these crazy moves and then really doing nothing, and then it'll pop up again, really do nothing. What are you looking at here for HCP?
Not really looking this one. We don't see enough volume there. It's very, very thin, the level 2 on the chart, as you can see. So we don't like this kind of tickers that you don't really have control about what's going to do. You know, you cannot pop in or pop out the trade as fast as you want because of the low volume. You might see some huge candle like yesterday or 2 days ago, you know, where you don't have the control of the risk of the position. So we try to avoid mostly these kind of tickers.
There's a lot of focus, obviously, on earnings season right now. The biggest week of earnings, we're halfway through here, still more to come. When so much attention is being focused on big tech and those who have reported, how do you pick and choose where to focus your energy on a day like today?
Well, as you know, we mainly look for a small cap, so it's not so much about earnings, but when it has news about it, you know, like we have stocks that maybe they don't give nice earnings, or they don't move with earnings, but they move more with the news. We are checking OPTN today. It's a crazy movement, 50% up now, trading 4 million, you know, so it doesn't matter if it's earnings season for us. We look for these kind of tickers, a lot of volume, a lot of price action on the level 2 on time and sells. So this is another one very, very nice for today.
You want to touch on maybe some levels here for OPTN? Seeing this one popping up in front of me here as well.
Well, as far as it keeps so strong, we're going to try to avoid front side going short on the front side, right? We have this 150 is an important resistance, but honestly, 4 million traded already in I think it's a very small stock. Let me check. Well, it's an 80 million float, so it's not so small. It's not going to rotate the float so fast. But so far, if it keeps holding, we're going to try to avoid shorts until it fails, until it goes backside.
When you,
I think 150 might be an important level to go backside.
Is there one or two things, Luis, that you look for to get confirmation in that sense?
Yeah, usually we go a starter before it goes to confirmation. We test with a small size, a starter position, as we call it, you know, maybe half size or 1/3 of the size you want to trade. You go this small size to start to check if it's failing or not. Then we look for lower resistance. I mean, if it fails 150 and then retry and stop in 145, 146, and you see offers on the level 2 coming in, pushing lower, bids are not showing up, you know, so these are the kind of confirmation we're looking for. And of course, the last confirmation we check with the VWAP, you know, if it fails VWAP, it reclaim and again bounce against it and it doesn't break the VWAP, that's like the last and really confirmation that the backside is working on.
One more I'll throw at you here. Not as much volume behind this, about 200,000 shares so far. This one popped up as well after the close yesterday. CDTX. This type of a move, when you get that breakdown already.
Yeah, I know. We might be a little bit late for this one. It was a good short before last night, probably, but the movement was done after the market closed, you know, so not very interested in this stock. I see it's one of the most expensive locates on the brokerage area, so a lot of people looking for shorts on this one. You know, we used to check how much are the locates, not only in real trading, but in the whole, brokerage side, to see if the people are really easy to borrow the shares or not. If it's easy to borrow, we might see more likely a short squeeze. If it's expensive or the traders don't have borrows, it's more difficult that you get a short squeeze, and this is one of the most expensive stock to locate right now.
It's a great point in the crowded aspect of the trade as well. If everyone's looking in the same direction, ends up being a traffic jam.
Absolutely. We used to say, like few people make a lot of money because a lot of people lose a little money. So don't try to go where the mass psychology goes. If everyone is short, be aware that they might be wrong because few people are right.
Luis, best of luck on a Thursday. We'll speak again soon.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Have a nice day.
That's perfect. That's exactly why DJT is a dangerous short.
I think that's why I picked the short on. It's why we're going to go 2 for 2 in these mega caps, right? We picked the long on Tesla because everybody was hating on it, and then we picked the short on Meta because I thought that was pretty overdone a little bit there, and just the ride it's been having upside. And you can see by our poll yesterday was
58.
Yeah, leaned heavily to the north side of Meta, and then they come out and disappoint. So I think that's a great point. Double check the price of the locates, and maybe the more expensive they are, the better the trade's going to be, because there's going to be less people that can afford to do that. And then all of a sudden that short gets squeezed just a little bit higher because nobody can pay for the shorts. And
Speaking of squeezes, by the way,
DJT
is at a kind of a squeeze-ish level. And this is a prime example. Like, shorting this one, you wait for the big moves up where it's already maybe bamboozled some people. Because I think if you look at a resistance like this, on a normal stock, you might say, oh, but it's resistance at 38. But on this, if it breaks it, it could go on a pretty decent run. And that's without even a catalyst. It doesn't these things don't need catalysts. But I love that point because I remember Veru did it one time when it was Veru was cheap locates one day, and it was like, ooh, back off that one. And then you just watched it go and go because everybody thought, every day trader out there was like trying to take pot shots at it short, and we're just getting chewed up and chewed up and chewed up. And then you had to run a bunch of stops before it would pull back in. Sometimes that's just the way that it goes. The market continues to fall. We might see, we're at 1.6. Every time I say we might see X, the market goes the other way temporarily. But yeah, we might see that 2% by the open. Thank you, Randy.
Yes, sir. I am writing the word bear on here, even though I will fight a bull.
Yeah, come on, son.
Randy. Yes, we are very, very
He's just fronting on that.
bearish. We are already 70 cents in the money right now on Apple. The thing about it, I saw a very good point in the chat there. You could whip off the tarp, and then use that as a cape. So a bull's running at me, whip off the tarp. That's my cape. Hold that thing. Bang, guy runs right into the wall or something.
You got options.
Bye-bye bull.
That ain't working with a bear, that's for damn sure.
You know what I'm saying, Randy? Randy said, oh, well, I would just buy bear spray. And I'm like, okay, well, if we can buy weapons, then
it's like, come on,
I'll
defeats
just
the purpose.
Go under the bed and grab that AK and start to spray. You know what I'm saying? Okay, whenever we are ready. No, I don't own an AK. It's an M16. But all right, let's go back over to the desk or to the board.
I want a shotgun.
No, I just own Fisher-Price toys.
Big list of names here in the upgrades and downgrades. Kicking it off with Goldman Sachs upgrading here TJX. UPS getting an upgrade, trading slightly higher here with this upgrade from HSBC Securities. GM, after its earnings on Tuesday, getting this upgrade from Bernstein, and Sherwin-Williams getting upgraded here by KeyBank Capital Management. Downgrades list started here by Li Auto, trading down here over 1% after this downgrade from Barclays. Truist downgrading Monster Energy here. ServiceNow, after its earnings, getting a downgrade from BMO Capital Markets. And last but not least, Goldman Sachs downgrading Victoria's Secret. Some interesting names on here, guys.
Oh, no. There we go. That's for Li Auto. But yeah, Li Auto continues. See, flat bottom break, and then underneath that, you just look for the short. It just broke another. See, this is the problem this is the only beef I have with Li Auto, is you get something set up like this so perfectly, And what does it do? All it has to do is open at 24. That's all you got to do. Just be at 24 the next day, and then you're just taking this breakdown 23.80 break with a 24 even stop. Now you're like, I got to short the pops. I got to let it get back in to some reasonable levels. But yeah, when that flat bottom broke, it's trend down ever since. It gave you a relief day that couldn't fill the gap, then a rejection breakout, short till it's not. There was I forget the name of the auto. They have this big auto show in China, and the name completely blanks me. But like Li Auto came out with a cheap model.
Chinese auto show, I think.
And Neo, is that with L6? Yeah, and Neo came out with like a cheap SUV as well. So all these, and BYD's coming out with another new model. Like it's insanity. So everyone's getting. There's so much competition.
We're having quote problems, 100%.
Oh no.
But there it is right there, guys. We will take that dollar. It's already a club member over there, Sharif. It's $1 right there on Apple to the downside on that GDP print. I was telling Neil I can't even log in and out or flip stocks anymore, boys. So I'm not going to be able to go over too many charts, but I do have another chart available. So we'll be showing some e-signal charts until this gets back going. Are you okay over there?
Mine.
All right, so maybe I'll log out and in. Look, as much as, what's up, Zuckerberg? This is yesterday. Sorry, that's this morning that I was doing this. I'll sip a little bit of water there. Don't look at the earnings report for Meta all the way to the downside right there. But this is what I'm about. So I just wanted to say here, sassy and classy right here. So yesterday, like, you would think that she's a baseball player, but she is. Hockey, baseball, this is what I do this for. There's really nothing else. And for you guys, finish update. Ooh, okay, Chrome updates.
Oh, I didn't do mine yet.
Maybe that's what's screwing that's what's slowing my computer down. I'm going to do that. I'm going to relaunch.
What does Chrome have to do?
Relaunch. Google reports.
It's already bad going into it. That's sort of the thing. I would check the Windows for like
No, I know what the problem is.
I was going to say firewall thing.
It's not. I know what the problem is.
Yeah, look, it's not looking very healthy right now. I don't.
You can't log in twice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a thing too. No, it's actually, it's interesting.
It's a safety thing for the software.
It is a safety thing.
I had the login window up, and then it doesn't let you do it because then you'll have, it's probably safety so that we don't spend more. Like, if you have $1 million in buying power, maybe if you open up 2 accounts, maybe it thinks you have 2 million. I have no idea, but that's my bad. So the system is 100% working fine, and that's a rookie mistake right there. So I will correct that.
Wayne.
Close and reopen my software.
All right, let's get into what we need to know here. There's a lot to digest this morning. We'll kick things off, as always, with a look at the overall market.
5107, guys. That's where in the closing yesterday. So we did defend 5100. I think it's an entirely different ball game right now, though. We broke aggressively there on that GDP and jobs number, breaking below 5050. So the support level is literally going to be 5,000. To the high side, we're going to say 5100 resistance.
If you have not done so yet, we have an absolutely free resource you can grab. Go to the website, tradertv.live. You'll see that pop up, enter your email, and then you get that sent to you every single day for absolutely $0. We do your homework even for you. Here's Meta, a ton to touch on. I mean, long story short, it comes down to the spend. I will do that in a second. Give me a sec, Fabian. It comes down to the spend. Everything else, though, just absolutely monstrous. It was pretty impressive, the actual numbers.
Everything. I mean, the guide, the revenue, the earnings, everything. We'll get to what wasn't good in a second, but net income more than doubled, guys, year over year on the quarter. 12.37 billion is how much they're taking home in profit. Revenue also increased aggressively, 27% year over year on the quarter to 28 2/3 billion. The guidance coming in decent here, a little bit below estimates. They're guiding 36.5 to 39 billion for the next quarter. The street was looking for 38.3 billion, so it sold off a little bit there. But really what it came down to, Brendo, was the talk about excessive spending on AI. The capital expenditure increased over 33% on the year. So we saw what he said last year with the year of efficiency, and that's what really brought up the stock.
I thought you were going to say what it really came down to was Mark Zuckerberg's new hair.
Hey, I like that. I like that. You set it up well.
What did I mean? Maybe he cuts it today?
Maybe. And that gold chain, too.
oh, zuck. But hey, man, they're printing money. The problem, yeah, again, we kind of already went over this in terms of the last time this started on Meta, you saw the destruction that happened. The good news is I don't think there's much chance that that's going to happen again. You can zoom out as far as you want. The thing is, ours changed when it went from Facebook to Meta, so even if I go back far enough, you're going to miss some of that Huadunk. They had multiple earnings moves down past 20% on that first move that got you down to 90 bucks. I think that's pretty unlikely. They got to adjust some levels because when we're sitting at 425, 430, my thought was, okay, you had support at 450. Let's be fading into that, and I was going to be 440. I wanted short, and 450. I probably wanted short as well. And now we've dropped $15 from there. So you almost have to adjust all targets. It's SSR. I'm expecting there will be a good-sized bounce on this stock at some point today. I'm not guessing where it's going to be. 400 would be reasonable, but I'd rather let it happen and try and play a fade. So I have to move it a little bit, thinking the 430 is now going to come into play on Meta as opposed to just the 440 and the 450 levels. I was pretty unwilling to move on NVIDIA yesterday, and that ended up being a mistake. You know, like I liked an 850 on NVIDIA, it had gapped up, and you saw it kind of failed at 840, and then watched it go down all day. I was able to get ARM instead, but it was still a missed opportunity. And if Meta does a pop, that's good enough. I want to take a shot at it, and if I take a shot and lose, it's something I like. At least I didn't miss my shot. At the end of the day. So we're gonna go for the fade on NVIDIA. I mentioned I do like Snapchat on sympathy back into that 11 level. Snapchat reports tonight. Do we really think that they're gonna guide well after this? I'm tending to think that most people will not believe they will. Oh, if Pinterest was doing volume, I might jump over to that one as well because I think both of those names should be under pressure based on this report.
Yeah, so I'm just writing it out. I'm writing the sticky note out right now as we speak, and I'm just basically tagging. I'm tagging the Fed because I want to find out if. So I'll talk to Jerome after the show, but I do want to find out if we are going to be cutting rates sooner now because of this GDP print. Because that was not a good print for sure. All right, so I wrote down 430. You're going to get the sticky note in a couple of seconds. I just have to put it out now that I'm reloaded and back in here. 430 for the short is something I want to look at, and then I want to look at 400 for the long. Other than that, not that interested until we get a big level. So yesterday on Tesla, we nailed that that 168. We had that top there, and I told you guys it was a really big trade. So we waited for that 168. We shorted early, took advantage of it, then wound up losing when it took the top. Then it came into the level that I wasn't sure we'd get, but we did. So that was $8 on 160. So if we can't get right now on Meta, the level that I'm looking for here is $13 higher on a $420 stock. So this move is easily something that we can expect up to 430. I like the stock. I'm pretty happy that we got out of some of it. Obviously, I'm net long everything. So all this gives me is the opportunity to reload this name. So I love Meta for the long term. This will be a $2 trillion company. This stock will be back to those highs. But for now, it's really cooling off and pretty much looking to get back to the gap here of 400. That's an area for me. And then the ultimate bottom, in my opinion, is its past highs. So in and around 385. Our charts won't show it, but this 385 area in and around here is where I think we could rest our head. And what a surprise. That's crazy that that's where the 200 period moving average is. I don't know if that's accurate, but I mean, we have more than 200 data points here. So I only picked it because the past high, well, actually the 200 right here is actually at 373, but the past high was 385. And then when we took that, you kind of saw up to the races, and then there was that dividend announcement right there. So I am buying Meta on dips, but not yet.
My question was going to be stink bid already in or waiting for?
No, I don't have any stink bids in anywhere.
I love stink bids. 390 392.69.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I miss a lot of trades because I don't put them in there.
No, seriously, I'm actually not making that. 392.69, the 200 period moving average, and it was 42 or something silly. But you know, it is what it is. I just feel like Meta's one of the stocks that I would say I'm relatively kind of underweight on. And one of the things, when I look back at it, one of the reasons why I've been selling some Eli Lilly is because I've been looking at it. It's like I own way too much Eli Lilly. And do I really believe that much more? Like, do I really want to own more Eli Lilly than I do like Meta? I'm kind of a conservative person. And my answer would be I'm a little too conservative to think that
Eli Lilly, so I bought Eli Lilly yesterday. But for me, I mean, for someone your age, maybe a little closer to retirement than I am, I would think maybe Meta, I love the cash that Meta has.
We're like 2 months apart, and you're older. I'm just kidding.
I think that I like Meta. I actually think of it as not so much, like not a value stock yet, but
think so.
I mean, with the amount of cash they have, they're trading at 20 times. I'm fine with this valuation.
Under 400, I'm all over it. That's all I'm saying.
But that's not even Neil. That's like 2%.
That's what I'm saying.
Away.
Like, that's what, like I want a dollar cost average, and I'm 100%
You're almost right there.
The first buy is easy at the 200 period moving average, and if it loses that, then I buy more the quarter after that. That's just my approach. But let's get on to the other big two names, because wow, earnings season is just starting, and if we think yesterday and today are big, you got a couple big dogs after the bell.
Just real quick, I was just hearing yields back at highs. Fed Fund futures officially pricing out December rate cuts.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
Let's just say it. It's not coming.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it is.
Just say it.
I think the market's reflected that too, that big down move that we've had lately.
Yeah. It's becoming real. Yeah, let's go on. Microsoft and Google to come tonight. Both downside here coming off of that move in Meta essentially after the close yesterday. I mean, we'll see what Google has to say as far as YouTube is concerned, as far as digital ads are concerned. But I mean, the number for Meta was huge.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't really understand the sell-off. Down 4 1/3 right now is Google in sympathy with Meta, and we didn't hear any cutbacks on spending in digital ad sales. So I'm a little confused by this whole thing here. The other one reporting tonight, Microsoft, looks like Satya Nadella is going to head over to Asia. He wants to talk to the prime minister or the leaders of Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia, possibly to set up centers there. So what I'm looking for from these two are one of the two biggest AI players in the game. I want to see what they have with respect to AI, and that's really what I'll be looking for tonight.
Just on that chart I was showing there, that's the 2-year, just about to take out the highs on the daily chart. The longer dated, if I just quickly go to the 30-year, already through those highs. So 482, 484 coming into play right now for the 30-year, 5018 right now for the 2-year, guys.
Yeah, hard to get bullish when
I might put some money into the bonds. I mean, like to be able to get that percentage, like 5%, just sitting in there for 3 years. I mean, 5% a year risk free. I mean, you're gonna have tax implications. And
I have a small amount locked away, but it's like
I don't have anything.
It's small. I think it was like I didn't like. I already done dollar cost averaging, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll get to that. Well, there's a lot to talk about in earnings season when you have this first little pullback with long-term stuff, and it's a lot of fun to be able to go over it. But for the trading day, Alphabet, maybe you shouldn't be down this far, but look, man, Meta is down 15%. So regardless of what we think about the advertising, you're going to be under pressure for Alphabet here. It just is what it is. I think if you're looking at pops in this one, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are wanting a little bit of risk off here. So I have 153.5 marked off because it was a bottom end of the range previously. But let's be real, the 155 as well. Like, it's more of a range that I think you're fading in. It's going to be hard to be on this over Meta, Snapchat, and then a couple of chip names as well. So I like it for a sympathy fade play back in, but if we're bouncing, I'm suspecting I just like the one that reported a little bit more. And Microsoft wasn't really on my radar as much. And I feel with Meta leading the way, Google's a little bit more adjacent to it and would be a more interesting trade. So I did mark off a nice level. I don't know that I want to short bottoms on Google because they report tonight. But if they do pop back up, I think once it's above 153.5, kind of into that 155 would be the level for me. 157, You know, I got it in there, but that didn't, like, that's the kind of level that mattered when I sat down, right? Like when I sit down, I'm like, oh, well, if we pop up by like 57, you break down, kind of move that limit a bit.
All right.
Revenue falls 84%.
All right. Something's falling 84%.
That sounds bad.
We just heard. So let's go back over to the desk and find out what that was.
We were just laughing at Ford. Yeah, I was going to double check on the call. I'll do it in a sec here. But this kind of sums up everything you need to know. So they beat street estimates. Guidance improves. EV revenue down 84%. So it was higher on the numbers itself. But as Randy was saying before we came on here, it's all pickup trucks.
Yeah, exactly. The consumer has spoken, Brendo. This is what's really boosting Ford here. Their commercial division, whether it's the F-150 all the way up, that's really what's doing well for them. Also, hybrid sales, and we've been hearing a lot more about this lately with all these emissions mandates by the government on a lot of these automakers. They're forced to look outside the regular internal combustion engine, and hybrids is where they're going. Hybrid sales and commercial vehicles helping Ford.
Call was at 8:30, or it started at 8:30. I actually don't see any comments from it at all, but it did start at 8:30 there, so just be aware for Ford. That said, I have seen more and more of the F-150 Lightning around the city, so they are out there, just not enough, I guess.
You know, I mean, look, I've seen them too, but it's disappointing that they're actually giving up this move a little bit, because it would have been nice to have a little. Like, I was hoping to be a couple of things strong that we could go over to, and AAL seems like the lone wolf on earnings. I don't know that I want to be buying a dip into this. It was so much more interesting if there were buyers above 13 for a stair step up. So, yeah, anything I was going to do on Ford, I'm not now. It's that simple. You're selling through, and then with the earnings call on, I think you sit this one out until you get the opening range and things chill at 10 o'clock, and maybe when the dust settles, it looks a little bit better. This also throws out the window the potential breakout in General and GM that we've been looking for. So after their earnings was a consolidation with Ford up. It felt like you were going to get this punch through on General Motors. That's out. That's also out the window, but that's fine. Like, you got to be able to. You got to be able to pivot, is what it is. Maybe after things settle down, this will be available, like the GM breakout might be available next week or something. Still looking much, much better than the only EV plays, which I think are just all in a lot of trouble still. So yeah, it's disappointing, because I really did think last night when I was at my daughter's gymnastics and I was looking through Ford and how it was up, I'm like, oh, the GM's probably going to give you that breakout tomorrow. Not going to happen.
No. I'm still looking at this Apple trade. We just got out our sticky note. Forget about Ford. I'm going to look at Tesla. I mean, this is starting to go, and real quick again. So I actually, again, when we're writing the sticky note, Tesla's at 163, 164. We should have shorted this instead of Apple. But Apple, hey, look, man, Apple fired off for you, Big Kyle, right there. Shout out to Sharif with the Big Kyle Burdette. But there it is right there. Like, this was a great short and will probably continue to be. Tesla's quarter was great, but it was, I just closed that chart. Tesla's quarter was great, but I think it was lipstick on a pig. So call it like it is. I still long the name, but I don't think it's much there, man. I mean, 168, I don't know. I think I wrote down that I'd love to take that again, but there's a reason why this was the biggest trade of the month yesterday. I like the name, and I think we can even break this 158 now that I see this. So that's, what level is that? 158, yeah. I mean, you guys want to make some real money again here today? Let's see. What about 157.50 break right there on Tesla? I like that one. And by the way, guess what's back in the building? Another dollar club right here. I mean, we just went back up and back down. Let's see if we can go even further now for Apple as we start ticking lower. So there's the short that we put on, and it is starting to go one more time. So we're already pretty nicely done right here. And I want to say a big shout out yesterday. Here's today's sticky note. And as you can see, we have a new entry into the building. So Real Traders Stay Late, you guys know that one. Let me know how you guys think the market recap show is going. We have added Adara for now to the show. So I think that should be fun, and we'll be adding hopefully some more pretty soon. I just got to get my guy Sharif to work a little later, you know what I mean? Back over to the desk.
Just till 9:30 every day. I just wanted to point that out to everybody.
Just real quick, Ford, there is something called an investor call right now. The actual earnings call was after the close yesterday, but there is something called an investor call right now for Ford. American Airlines, meanwhile, there are comments coming out right now. So AAL, anyone looking at AAL, that is happening this morning. So AAL back downside right now in a hurry on the back of some of these comments. And it looks like they're mostly surrounding Boeing delivery delays. And the CFO was just making comment to the effect of, it's affecting the whole industry. There's not much they can do about it, but it's going to be a problem as far as capacity is concerned. But pretty good report on the demand side of things.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that the Boeing having an issue with everybody. Love as well reporting today and saying basically the exact same thing. So let's talk about how they did. Revenue did increase to $12.5 billion, but it did miss the estimates of $12.6 billion. Also, EPS came in a little bit light, but it was, as you mentioned, Brendo, the demand for their first class or business class or whatever you want to call it these days, where they make the majority of their margins. They don't really make a lot of money on economy, and there seems to be a good amount of demand by business travelers.
Yeah, not a lot of conviction behind this move so far this morning, guys. We're still pretty stuck here for some of these airlines.
Well, one of the things about if there's less planes and there's less routes that they can run, then there's less availability of those higher priced flights and they can charge a little bit more for them. It ends up like this weird thing that's not that bad for them and it's bad for Boeing. But, you know, up 2% for AAL. The good news is it's still above the 200 period moving average. This really felt like, yeah, it is what it is, man. This felt like it was a potential breakout play today. You know, right in through here, like 14.75. And you look at the 15, it's a little bit better on the 15-minute chart, you can see. Like this was really set up for a bit of a break it out and just go. Now I got to pivot to, hey, if something's going to hold a support line, it would be this 13.8 to 14 level on AAL. So I'm just going to have to be patient with it. And anything that looked bullish got thrown deeply out the window with that economic number. And you just got to be able to adjust to that at the end of the day. Like add some short plays. I think those are the only things that we're going to have on at 8:30 because we'll probably get a little bit of a pop to be able to fish 9:30 to be able to fade in. And if we do pull back into 13.8 and hold, okay, maybe you have to go dip by hunting on AAL. But yeah, that breakout, kind of like the GM one, is just going to have to wait maybe a day or two. So we'll have to pull back on that. You don't want to be taking breakouts or have the order out there, let's just say, when the market is looking this week. But I think sometimes you have to have an idea for if the market goes the other direction. At least I know I'm bullish on this one if we do hold that 13.8, if we get that breakout at the top.
What I forgot to mention was the 3.24 billion daily active users that are also present in Meta. And check out this, 40% of the total population on Earth uses Meta. That is insane number. Like the fact that they can keep growing this number, 7% growth rate on users, that is ridiculous. Like if you can grow 1%, 2% would be monstrous. Like 7%, like pretty soon, I mean, what exactly are we even talking about if Mark Zuckerberg and company, you know, gets this AI to where they think they can? This is going to be an absolutely monstrous company, I feel like, moving forward. Let's just see what happens here. I started messing around with the WhatsApp AI too, just asking it questions. It's pretty cool, back and forth like conversation style. So I think there's something there. But what I meant by getting Sharif to work the afternoon show is I've stolen Adara from him. You know, so now I'm trying to steal Sharif, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I guess you're just stuck with me and...
you don't want an Arsenal fan next to you anyways.
Oh, okay. It's funny because I messaged him. I'm like, the reason why I love you so much is because you're a Cowboys fan. And then now
Sharif.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to show some love, but there's always going to be some hate in the football.
I got no issues hating on a Cowboys. I'll tell you this right now. When the Cowboys are on the podium at the draft tonight...
Oh, the draft is going to be nice.
I am at home with nobody to listen to me, and I'm still going to boo. Like, I will boo my TV when nobody can hear it. I'm a Bills fan. Like that is how I
I don't think
roll.
the Cowboys pick.
I'm
When do they
keeping it-
pick?
I don't even know when. It doesn't matter when they pick.
the
I'm just gonna
20s.
boo it anyways. Y'all need a running back.
See, we have hockey
Y'all need
tonight.
to pay your quarterback, and then you can have less success because he's still not going to give you guys wins. No, don't get me wrong. Like
they're going to draft a running back. There's some pretty hot. Yeah, there's some nice running backs. They're going to get one in the second round.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, I'm at hockey till 7:30, which is perfect. I think the draft starts around 7:30 or something.
Yeah, and then
because the first 3 picks are done.
Yeah, it's not until it gets to 4 and 5. Pick 4 is where it gets interesting.
Yeah,
so
because it's going. You can mark this down right now. It's going to be.
Caleb
Williams, Daniels, May.
and then May.
And then we'll see if McCarthy gets taken out for if they move up.
Chargers could. I don't know.
Okay, let's go back over and talk about. Semis are strong. I wrote down short on AMD.
Did you guys hear that Ezekiel Elliott actually might be making a return to the Cowboys? I know. Well, it'd be a nice return for nostalgia, not for actual production.
Just keeping an eye on, man, these yields are moving higher. This is, yeah, I mentioned our semi is going to be strong today, and that was back here when they were in the pre-market, but this overall market move has changed things a little bit. NVIDIA getting cracked here pretty quickly. As soon as that number came out at 8:30, AMD, same story, SMH as well, all downside in a pretty big way. This Hynix, South Korea's Hynix, which is a supplier of NVIDIA, reporting better than expected earnings. I mean, obviously, but does that matter at this point?
They're probably buying these RAM chips hand over fist to put on their H100 and new Blackwell. Yeah, a big supplier of NVIDIA, so we have our eye on that, like we have our eye on Micron. With their DRAM. So good report for them there, Brendo. Operating profit of $2.89 trillion, which is about $2.1 billion. Significant turnaround from the $3.4 billion loss that they had last quarter. So we'll have to keep an eye on the chips today. But, you know, as with the overall market, everything's really down at the moment.
Yeah. I was just hearing these moving around here again. I mean, this is November. And then if you go to December, we're still kind of floating around. You know, the majority of the percentage towards a quarter point here. But again, Fed funds futures back to the highs right now, pointing to basically pricing out a cut through December.
Yeah, look, I want to short pops today. NVIDIA was going to be 820. Things have changed a little bit here. You've got the 8 to 805 level, which is going to stand out. You already know how I feel about Intel in the 35 level. I don't think anything has changed there. Oh, that's right, I was already offering up here. I was already offering up here early on. Not really moving much. I think you can still play the 35, 25, 25 on them. And then ARM, which was my best trade yesterday, was failing 103 and failing 100. I still like the 100. It hasn't traveled far enough that I don't think we're going to get away from that fade. But I do want to be shorting pops in the chip names today. I just want to be careful because the last few times we've had to move this far down at the open, there's been a decent pop. And you've had to be very patient getting into shorts if there is a pop at the open. I want to stick to that. Just a little bit of patience at the open. What was the uh-oh?
No. I shorted AMD just very, very small because I wrote down here on the sticky note that I liked the 149 break. So I did take it because so many times we've sat here and we've watched out, there it is, 149 short. So we even talked about it here as well. Watch out for NVIDIA underneath 800. But we've been looking at the short here for AMD for a while. So what I said, it was like, it just popped up. And I looked over, it's not even in balance time yet. So potentially my next fill, I'll take one here in the, I just put one at 60 to see if it does pop up there because I was like, what? But if we can get something up to VWAP, that's 150. I really like that trade. And then I wrote down 153 because that was pretty much yesterday's high right there in the afternoon. Obviously, we've come from there, so we have to, zoom out and see that there is a possibility that we could rip today as well. I just don't think this is a ripping day right now. Even if Meta goes, remember, Meta had a great quarter. It's the guide that's the problem. So today, we're going to have Microsoft and Google come that are also going to have good quarters. But where does the guide come from? We said that was the scary thing for Meta. So, AMD coming, I think it was next week or May 9th. I'm not worried about their earnings yet. I still want to fade these pops. So for me, despite the semis being strong up there on the board, they're definitely not strong right now as the market has changed direction. So there it is. Like Neil mentioned, look at NVIDIA. We said yesterday that NVIDIA at that 8:05 in the afternoon, remember we were like, maybe we should take it, maybe we should take it. We wound up making money on AMD short anyways, but this is a good level, man. This 8:05, I feel like that's just like that 153 level on AMD. So if you want a little more juice, and maybe you have a bigger account, or maybe options look better on NVIDIA, I'm not sure. I would look for that 8:05 if we can get back up there to try to fade that kind of a level. And then on the downside for NVIDIA, honestly, I think we're at jeopardy to break Fridays. Is that Fridays or Thursdays low right there of 760? So I'm watching out for that, and then you're at, well, I guess the low is really 755, but down here to 760, I think is where we try. I think that's where we try. So we're gonna have to watch out for that one right now. And then again, we had marked down Tesla for the short, as I hear Ty behind us. I don't have it yet, but remember what I said? If we really want to make some money today, I think that break is pretty good. 157.50 as down goes Tesla. We're short AMD and Apple right now.
Such a miss.
Yeah.
We were just talking about what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, what if we come in here tomorrow and this PCE number is light after this GDP print?
Well, look at the December print. Remember the December CPI print was in line, then January came in high. Oh, it's seasonality. February comes in high.
Yeah.
So I feel like, it's zigzaggy.
Tomorrow, make sure you're here, 8:30. We'll have that for you as it happens. What's coming up this morning on the midday?
Well, we're talking about bull flags all week, Brendo. Today, specifically, we'll talk about scalping the bull flag, capturing fleeting profits in a bull flag setup. Catch that with Adair and I today at 11 on How to Trade.
Yeah, you would have made him.
Yeah, so just look, the imbalance locator came out. You're going to see a monster name. Oh, you could have gone to Sean. It doesn't matter. You can go to mine too. It's the same thing. This monster number, this deal's closing in a couple of days. It's like a cash deal, so you ignore that. It doesn't really matter. Tesla's the big one. 400,000 to the sell side on Tesla. I mean, most of the things are sell here. And then there's going to be rubrics. There's an IPO today. I don't know if we mentioned. Did we even mention RBRK?
We didn't mention it, but
okay, so we didn't mention this one. They're like a cloud security company coming to market today. That's RBRK. Don't know what time it's going to open. It's going to be on the New York. It's in the system, and there's like a small imbalance, which indicates it's going to be today. We just usually expect it to be somewhere after 11 o'clock, typically speaking. So Tesla with a sell imbalance there is probably the one worth paying attention to. Going to be looking to short some pops today at this open. Do anticipate we're going to get some. Meta is actually rebounding a little bit here. Got to zoom in so that it looks like you can, like that's an $8 move that when you zoom out, it looks like nothing happened. So 430, 440, 450. Those are the places I want to look to short some pops. You had Bitcoin, which is now down at 63,000, so that's failing a little bit in there. Short the pop situation is going to be in play. I already have an offer on Snap. I don't know if I need to have that still there out in front of 11. Probably too far. Like I had some offers that I wanted to short pops in. The things have changed a little bit. Might have to get a little bit more shallow if there's a pop in Snapchat. But I'm not looking for any longs off this open. Now I'm going to be, if there is a move up, it's one that I want to be fading today. With just a couple of minutes to go, I want to short the pops. I got NVIDIA, ARM, Meta, obviously, we talked about, and Intel pretty much every single day. And we'll not going to be in AAL, but if the market somehow decides to hold the bids, I might come back to that one at 10 o'clock. If it's trending up, that's one I would like to join a trend. I don't really have any other long kind of ideas outside of possibly AAL after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just, so we just got more short Apple, of course, and we got short AMD, and we're going to print on both of these. I'm pretty confident on it. So, but right here, I just want to look at this again because this is the futures, and this is the NASDAQ, and we're still kind of in the middle here. From the top to the bottom, we're kind of hanging out. So even though we're down 1.7% right now, I'm not like loving the fact that this is looking like a crazy short down into here. If we do get to 17.2, that's worth looking at. So that's 150 handles lower. So we're not, that would be awesome. Like these shorts that we have would be awesome at that point. But watch out for keeping that in my mind because we're down 1.74%. Once we touch that 2%, we could cascade even further, and then that's when we want to watch out for that 17.2 to see if that comes into play. Man, oh man, to have been sitting there at 149.50. We were at 150. I mean, I just was not expecting that. That's why Neil was like, oh, what was that? And it was a nice move upside. But now the market's trying to come back. So that's why I wanted to say, you got to watch out for the tops and the bottoms, man. Like 17.5 as well coming into play here as Meta bounces back up as well right now. So just be careful with all of this. I feel like this open could get real spicy real quick on all of this.
Oh, yeah. And
Randy, did you ask if I needed a reload? Because that would be awesome.
a word?
But I'll put that over there. It's getting cold already. Looks like my hands around here.
I don't
How's
have
the
my heater
HVAC in
plugged
this
in.
place? All right, 10 seconds to go right now. Lamb research on people's minds. Apple on people's minds. Ford on Randy's mind. As we get ready to go, there it is. Let's go open up. Oh, that's not the, I thought you had the Ford hoodie on, but you do not. You have the Roots hoodie. Shout out to Canada today. Okay, here goes Apple right up to the upside right now. We did fade into that 170, but we did not get the highest print because we're there right now, up to 170 on Apple. Let's see what happens now. We'll take the short. We are printing on AMD right now. That's a nice one. Let's go. We said this name would print, so let's start to do that. There it is right now, 148.95. We're $1 in the money right now on AMD, the Dollar Club reigning, but it's Apple, Neil, that's starting to go to the upside.
Wow,
we were off pace on this yesterday.
Well,
and it
here
looks
comes
like Apple's strong again.
Here comes Alphabet right back into that 153.5 as well. NVIDIA's chilling at 91s. If it gets to that 800 level, that's where I'm looking for the curl.
Apple is, wow.
Meta's at 22s. 30's the level for me there. So it could be Google coming in line first. Intel can't short a pop that doesn't exist. So that's all we're looking for there. I have no idea what everyone in the back just kind of.
I think they're looking at Tesla because I should have
What
probably.
happened in Tesla?
Just rocketed up.
Tesla's rocketing upside as well. I got eyeballs on Meta. It's popping. Want that 430 level.
Yeah.
NVIDIA cannot even seem to get past 790, it looks like. Ooh, sometimes wherever, if you like a fade in NVIDIA, sometimes you just got to look to where it is and not where you want it to be. So again, I'm trying to be patient, but we're too patient.
Yeah, we are monstrous over here, guys. Spin that right here for AMD. AMD is now $1.80 in the money and going lower. And again, this was the talk of the day, man. We even put it on here, break 149. I mean, we wrote it down, and there it goes, man. This is exactly what the kind of trading that we are here to do every single day. And there it is, another move all the way to the downside. It was a pre-market take, so let's put another bid down here. We could still get lower and lower on this one, but it's Apple. We're going to go 1 for 2 because we got a little bit out of Apple as it came back into 170, but it is really starting to go here despite the market. So we got caught in these plays before. Where we short something against what the market's doing, and then boom, the market goes, and you are like double wrong. So that top right there of I'm just not going to mess with this. 170.60. We break that, man. We got to get out of this, and let's just regroup because the more we sit in this, the worse it's just going to get. So we'll regroup on Apple short.
Wow. Okay. Didn't think it was going to be Snapchat first. That's a little bit surprising.
Thank you.
But Snapchat,
That's right. Pigs
back
get
into
slaughtered,
the upside
baby.
there. Oh, you got the pig one. I can't drink out of that thing. It's annoying. Snapchat just came in 1070. I got 71s in there. Oh my goodness, Meta's now dumping. Yeah, it couldn't even get up there. So I'm in Snapchat on a bit of a pop. Just got Alphabet as well. So waited to short these pops. The first two to come in there were going to be Google. It could not get the 153.5. Our other resistance line just got taken, and we're short 150.188 underneath that 152 level that we have set up. NVIDIA is really giving up the ghost here as well. That's already backed off that 790. So we'll look at that 790 level now for NVIDIA. We got Snapchat and Google for now.
All right, yeah, we should look at that Snapchat as well. Good trade there. How high did that? Oh my God.
75.
We like the 11s up there. Nice 176s or so for Snapchat. Yeah, that's not too bad as Meta's back up to 420 and change. So we got Apple down there at 71s right there. So we'll be positive. I mean, now it's back above 170 again, but so far so good here for Apple. That Snapchat, we were waiting for a little bit higher, but that's a good one. Yeah, now here comes the rip up now for AMD all the way back. So watch out here for 150. I got to now think about an out because we were laughing at NVIDIA because of what it was doing, and now it is turning that around at us, pointing the gun directly at us now. All right, 151 and change. We did reload it, but let's see if it can get into a paid off position right now. 149.70. Let's try to take 20 cents if it can get back down, but then let's be very, very careful with this one because as we all know, man, this market is a dangerous place, especially when NVIDIA is making
50s there, but when NVIDIA is moving, I'm not going to get off this level too as we approach the 800 level. So if we get to that 800 for the curl, hopefully patience is going to end up paying here, and we can get that one to the south side. Google's even coming back up. I might get a reload in Google. Come on, NVIDIA, get up. See, this is annoying. When you want it to get to a level to short, and then you just watch it drop $5. It couldn't even get past 97s. This is a heavy, heavy market. I got to check ARM for a quick second while this calms down. Yeah, ARM nowhere near that 100 level, so we'll continue to be patient there. Snapchat. We are now down at 1050, so I'm going to get another bid down in front of the low of the day on Snapchat because Meta is about to break the low. So I think Snapchat should see the low of the day if Meta's breaking its low. There's no way that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, good trade right there. And by the way, it is time again to do bang, 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 and drop a little bit of money down because look at that reload there on AMD as we get a 150 there. And now it's starting to come back down again. So we're just... we're trying to go, baby, right here, right now. So let's see if we can. I just put another bid there at 50, actually at 47, to see if we can get a move down. We are also realizing here that Apple is still hovering around a little bit. We did write down Snapchat at 11. We should probably have that trade. That's a good one. And then we did want to look at Tesla again because that was whipping around there off the open, all the way down there to that 158 that we talked about this. If that had broken, I mean, but instead, flip that trade around and go the other way, right? And then you can see what that's doing right now as well. So good trade there, I feel like anyways, for those of you that were on Tesla long. Watch out for resistance now up to the 200 period. So that would be something. But the market's starting to go again here, Neil. So I don't know. I mean, let's wait to see where we're going on this market. But for right now, it seems like it wants to go higher, but still under the 50 period, still under VWAP, and we're still in these shorts. So let's see if we can continue to print on them.
Yeah, I'm still in Snap. Google's out. Let me
AMD got up high right there.
That's not updated.
Oh, no. We should have faded that even
Alphabet
more.
broke out, and I got wicked out. It's back under, so I might get back in on the same trade at that level, but it did come out there. And if I get in, it's a separate trade, everybody. And I want to take it above the 152 back into this local high, which is 152.80. So I do want to be getting a better price if I'm going to be fading a similar level. So I'm not in that position, 151.8. You can see that I got that out. I'm looking to get back in the mids, and then giving it to that local high that you see. NVIDIA's still churning. 97s now on NVIDIA. NVIDIA just gave me that 97 because that was the top like a second ago. But NVIDIA's starting to come in. So there is the wick. It couldn't get to 99s. 98.5 is the level there on NVIDIA. So I want something in front of 95. Give me something in front of 95. VWAP's down at 91. So again, here I just kind of, yesterday I bungled this when I wanted a specific level on NVIDIA, and I was unwilling to compromise when it set up a curl. So I got the wick here underneath 800, was able to get 97 change to this level here, which is like 98.5. So like $1.50 worth of risk or $2 worth of risk. We'll look to see if we can get some VWAP in here. So we're short Google again, but remember, that's a new trade. I got out of the old one.
Yeah, okay, I don't mind all those trades. I was just saying to myself under my breath, like, this seems just really quiet right now. Like, I don't...
The back's very quiet.
Not just the back. Yeah, everyone's super quiet around here. I'm not even sure there's traders behind us. But the thing is that we also have, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be loud. I meant the market. Like, I was just thinking that there's just, it's pretty chill right now. You know, it's pretty chilling right now. All right, so we're just gonna go short. We're still short AMD and short Apple, but we have our outs, man. Like if AMD takes 151, we're out. And the market, I guess maybe this is why I think it's slow. It's just kind of hovering around some levels, waiting for something to happen. We're in two red positions right now with Apple and AMD. I've taken profit on both, but they're about to go against us here in a couple seconds. So we'll wait. Apple's trying to make a move down. You got something for us, Adara?
Nice look here for Processa Pharmaceuticals. PCSA is the ticker for this one, up about 60% after getting an $8 price target and a buy rating from H.C. Wainwright. Worth noting as well, we have a float of about 2.53 million shares, 6.6% short float for PCSA, guys.
We got a little bit out there on AMD and Apple, but still not much happening here. What do you want to talk about? DJT, people talking about?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, okay, here. All right, so just real quick here. I just want to talk about AMD. We're going to get out of this if it breaks 151. Normally, I would wait for the top here, but I'm going to get out on a 151 break. I do have a position that I'm comfortable with, but I'm too favored to the short right now today. I'm biased to that way, and I've understood that those have been my mistakes in the past, is to average in until it's too late, and then you look over and you're like, not what happened to my month, but like what happened to my day. I thought we were being disciplined, and then the next thing you know, like I said, the gun's turned on you because you're just the wrong way. So we'll wait for everything to come through. I'm going to bid.
Holy NVIDIA.
Yeah. Oh, NVIDIA. Okay.
It's like right back up.
Just real quick. I'm just because we just talked about AMD. So my next position that I'm in, and then we'll go over to the chips with Neil. But Apple. So I love the 170 short. This was a good idea here. We're going to watch out for that. So I did put more bids here in the was it in the 80s? Yeah, low 80s. So here comes, yes, sir, right there. There's a fill now. So Apple working, chip name's not.
Well, I know.
There it goes. So I'm out of that.
I'm
and
glad
Apple's
I took
tanking.
the scalp trade. Again, everyone's style is going to be different. I took the $2 scalp trade and then risked the rest of it. But we'll be up on NVIDIA, but I expected we'd see VWAP on that move. It's now challenging the $800 level, so we're backing off a little bit here. Just to go back over to Snapchat, because I feel like we've ignored Snapchat a little bit here. We're back to Google on a reload, but Snapchat did give us
that one
1050, so we're able to grab that one to the downside. But back over to NVIDIA, which is now at the 800 level. So it's now challenging the pre-market highs. So this
Short
805 about to come into play here for NVDA.
Not long, my guy.
I am in Google off that 153 as well. So if we get 152s, we'll take some out there. Basically, the futures are just channeling at this bottom. Like we're consolidating on the bottom on the futures. So you just want to respect that.
Please check this.
Gimme.
All right. Ty behind me, my guy back here, he's like, wow, nice trade out there on Apple. And I said, please refer to sticky note because we had it written down right there, 170. But you know what? It's the only trade. Like this AMD, I just got back into it and it just went, by the way, like 40 cents in the money and I didn't take it. So slap me out there again at that side. But Apple, so the only trade that's been triggered on our sticky note today is Apple. So we'll play with AMD, we'll do a little dance, and we'll have some fun with it. But at the end of the day here, shout out to the mug. But there's the Apple 170 short. Meta hasn't hit these levels, Tesla hasn't hit these levels, and AMD hasn't hit that level. And then Snapchat was a good one by Neil there with that near that $11 mark. So we'll wait to see if that can come out. I know you took a risk taking it at 70, so I like that. But Meta's coming back.
Get in that much.
Meta. I'm just saying that Meta. We're going to go to Adair in a second, but Meta is coming back upside right now, and yeah, there goes. Good thing we got out when we did on, not good thing, but we did get out of AMD. It was an L, but over to Adara.
This part of the show brought to you by VinFast. VinFast is committed to their mission. The company reiterated that they're on track to deliver 100,000 vehicles in 2024. From the bustling streets of Vietnam with their new VF3 to the highways of North America with their luxurious VF7 and VF9, VinFast is setting the pace for a greener tomorrow.
And NVIDIA is setting a pace for a greater now, apparently.
And Apple's like, yo, make Apple great again.
Make Apple, I like that. All right, NVIDIA, here's the 805 level. Well, I mean, Apple's already...
I thought of that myself, that whole slogan, make something great again.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just got to put that creative hat on.
Yeah, like I
You know the worst part about that? Is someone's probably going to come and steal that from you, which is...
Well, then I better trademark it immediately.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that is
Joking,
unfortunate.
obviously,
Oh, you've heard that before? Okay, here. Whoa, hello. Yo, what's up, Elon? Pick me up in that taxi, my guy. 165. We are getting, a little bit of a cheese trade happening right here because as something's going back all the way up, we're gonna have to watch out for that one. I'm just gonna chill out, man. Like Apple's been, that's the one for me right there. AMD, what? Okay, that just came through. All right, okay. let's go. We are now short AMD against our 153 level. So we're here to take a couple pennies if it comes back in, because again, our level there, 153. So let's wait to see what happens on this one. And again, you can get your mind changed real quick in this game, as AMD, like, I feel pretty good about getting out of this one and holding on to the Apple trade for sure, because for right now, we're kind of just like watching this level up, Neil. We said that we want to get out of this if NVIDIA was above 8, or watch NVIDIA 800. Watch NVIDIA 800.
It's at 808.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the heartbreak? But like, nice move up to the upside into 812 now, a level that we've shorted before on that top wick, but my poison is picked, and it's the wrong way possibly here with AMD. So let's wait to see if we can get a little closer to 153 to average into this. But if we blow too much past 153.50 and change, we're gone. Zeno on AMD, as this one's not working out. The short is not it, but we wrote down 153. So let's start to take something up here and just see if we can get a little more near our targets, as this name has really impressed me.
Yeah, I'm now looking at Google, and it's higher lows, man. First short underneath, higher low. Well, that's that low, higher low. We shorted it again.
Wow,
Half, higher
okay,
low. We shorted it again, higher lows. If it breaks 153, we're out. And I don't think I need to be taking it unless it shows me some kind of a better pattern. Sometimes you just got to get out of the way, right? You take your profit, have your stop, have your stop.
Loving
NVIDIA
this
is
play.
running to the upside, but I'm not taking any $5 hits on this stock. It has to come to a really big level, which is going to be that 820. Meta is now, see, we didn't take a single trade in Meta, and now Meta's pressing.
That's
and
getting
you can see
there,
that
right?
fourth. It's at 426. I wanted to short some pops, but this never came anywhere near the pocket. If it's going to continue higher, I do have to keep an eye on Snapchat, because Snapchat could be a reload back in these 75. So I want to get a reload in Snapchat first, as Meta's starting to get to the upside here.
Okay. Here we go. We now 50 cents in the money on this sticky note call, baby. Let's get back down to the downside. We'll go 2 for 2 on sticky notes, man. It's 153 on AMD. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, that might not be a bad thing, because I'm not sure. This is going to the damn downside again. We'll go 2 for 2 on Sir Sticky. That didn't sound good. But let's see if we get to the downside right now. Again, I'm here all day, baby. All right, here we go. 152 and change. Apple as well. Now 50 cents in the money. Now, so yeah, man, that's what we're talking about every day, all day. Ty, man, hey, Mr. Marketing Guy, get that OnlyFans locked and loaded. Here we go. AMD to the downside, nicely going here, 152.20. Hey, OnlyFans plus trading, we talked about that numerous times. Shout out to my guy, Big Patty Ice. I think that was one of his ideas. But there it is right now. Let's go, man. It's deuces up. We've got 153 on AMD. Who would have known about that? And 170 on Apple. But the thing about Apple, it just made its move all the way back. So we are almost out of our Apple trade. Let's just go play this little roulette here, as Meta is saying hello, up to 428 right now. Watch out for 430. That was our level.
Yeah, it is getting right up there on Meta. It were 29s. Once we get above 29, we're starting in on that one. We're back underneath 810 on NVIDIA. I just got a curl in ARM. I'm on the 98 offer. Meta came first, so Meta just broke that 29. We're short for the first time on Meta. We said be patient. I do have Snapchat as well. Very, very quickly, because it's brand new. ARM just curled when NVIDIA did.
Look at it.
So I grabbed the 98 short there. Meta already starting to back off. VWAP's so far away that I almost don't care. 425 is going to be a more important level there on Meta. If it holds 425, then maybe it's making another stair step to the upside. So first scalp trade, we're going to take $2 on Meta. It's a $400 stock. Keep all that in mind.
Bang that Meta short. Bang that AMD short. This is just another one of them days here, guys. Let's just go. Like, this is absolutely, yeah, let's get some more coffee up in this building right now. Look at Meta, guys. That's the trade that, I mean, for me, that's singing right there. Let's go. It's
another one.
And
another one.
And no more. Because right now, Meta is coming right back up. So we did take a nice piece out right there at 427 for $1. And then it went down and sort of bounced off of that 426. So let's wait to see. We do have a 200 period now at 424. But again, on earnings, I'm not like 100% convinced that these 200 period moving average or anything like that are going to mean anything. So here comes Meta right back up into 429. Looks like it wants to, and when it breaks that 430, we brand Zeno on that one. Here we go onto the upside, and no, not a break. A little rejection right now. So now we're short again at 429. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully downside, Neil, because there it goes again. Where's Brittany at, baby? Let's go. We did it again. Let's see if we can flush down to the downside. $2 in the money on AMD, and now $1 on a reload there, Neil. Tell me you reloaded, my guy.
I reloaded Snap and wasn't quick enough to get over to Meta. Why? Because Snap's actually weaker than Meta. Meta got to the high. Snap was already breaking VWAP. I think these guys are dead. If Meta gets under 425, this is seeing $10 today. So reload over here. I'm only short the two names because we are not in ARM. I like the chips to the short side, but we took our shot at NVIDIA. So right now it's just Meta and Snapchat. I feel like that's the right spot. But Meta, no, it's not. The beard. Meta needs to touch 444 before it dumps again. Yeah, that would be bad. No, that would suck a little bit if Meta touched 444. Man. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Meta's gonna see VWAP down here. I'm looking $7-8 on Meta. If we get a reload, we get a reload. It's been a fun morning, but you don't want to get too far away from the pocket. So we haven't really traded any ARM because ARM didn't give us our fill. I haven't traded Intel like I usually do because that never gave any fills. I'm not even looking at AAL.
Oh, hell yeah.
But the shorts are starting to come in here. Meta 29. We said we wait for 430. 430 came in, and that's what it's all about. Tesla.
Wow.
Tesla 165. You know, Tesla's actually too strong for me. I'm going to stay away from Tesla unless we see like that 170 from yesterday. But here's our 25 level on Meta finally. Let's go.
Let's go is right, everybody. This is a Sticky Note Nation day right here today, and congratulations to everybody that's rocking right now. This is what we say, man. Fortune favors the bold. When you see a trade like this, you hit it with shares, man. This is the trade that you need to make. We made it. It's $5 in the money. It is as literally as it was written. We're short 429.50 right here on Meta, and just take some out right there on the bottom. You know where my stop is? 430.50. So there it is. That's why you put the shares in. I mean, this is why we're doing the work. You know, we talk about that. Do your own process. You know, we rolled in late today. What do we have? 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, right? I mean, the show is what it is. The show must go on, as they say. And right now, AMD 153 is just, I'm going to take one more out here, but I do want to hold for an eventual collapse here today. So we're just doing this. Thanks Comp SRX1. This has been such a awesome opportunity to be able to sit here and trade. So I'll probably just hang on, see how low we can get on Meta. We've already put that money in the pocket right now. I'm pretty confident just holding on to this. Hold on to everything now. Yeah, I think this market tests back lower.
I'm getting a bid out, and it's exactly the same. This is not history repeating itself, but Snapchat, same two levels. Like it breaks 70, fails 75, short 70, first out VWAP, second out in the 50s, and then we're going to hold the rest for the low of the day. Don't need the second bid in there. We'll just take the first in the 50 level. So Meta 500 for sure, Gonzalo says. Look, man, if Meta gets to 500, I'm 100% with you. It's going to get to 500 again. It's just not going to get to 500 today. That's all. I'm going to be I'm dip buying this stock in my personal account if it gets anywhere near that 200 period moving average, but that's for the future. Right now, the short is what's working. So NVIDIA has finally made a double top. So the last couple times we shorted it, had a good scalp win, took the out, keep it tight to the vest. Now it looks a little bit weaker off this 810 area. The only thing for me is, you know how I feel about why short the strong one when you can short the weaker one. I'm going to cancel some ARM orders. I can get ARM off of its high when NVIDIA is at the high. I'd rather pick on the one that's showing me a bit of a downward pattern as opposed to the one that's still looking like a bull flag. Adara?
This small cap here on watch, ACON, this one is a penny stock. They have a market cap of about $2 million. And Aclarion, ACON, basically having this news that they have their solution playing a key role in this LifeHap trial for lower back pain treatment. So interesting connection here for ACON to the upside, guys.
you and dine you up in
Well, yeah,
the club.
DJT I meant to look at.
Looking at you and you already know I want.
Say it right. You already know I want.
I mean, if you don't think I'm in a good mood. All right. We just, I mean, that meta, we got a cover down there at 424.50. Like, you can't even paint this on here. Like, I don't know where if you got an out down here or not, but like that, sometimes you just sit there and it's like, okay, we'll take that one. And then we also did the same thing on Apple, although this was a 50 period, we were sitting there. You guys know that we're sitting there on Apple. But those were good. Shout out to Daryl. What's up, Daryl? Hope you're doing good over there as well. All right, so let's move along. Move along, nothing to see here. Snapchat. Nice move up to 1075, but again,
NVIDIA.
Little too. I'm just going to, like, we're starting to go lower, lower, lower here right now.
I watched the markets bounce.
We trade, yeah, like, so you guys know, we'll trade more shares, and I'm, going to just to hold the rest of this, just to see, because, we've done well on this so far. Here comes Meta screaming back in. AMD, we already have $1.40, $1.50. We've taken a lot out of these names. I think this market turns, and I'm happy holding this. Down to 17,350. I still said we could see 17.2. I don't see why that's not in the pocket here again today. We are just continuously climbing higher and higher here right now. There's that out if you wanted to get on Meta. Like I said, we're not going to be taking that on there. So this is going to be hopefully a real, it's already a real big day, but let's hope this can get real. And we'll see if we can get lower on this one. We're 3 shorts right now, and they've been pretty good names. So we'll wait to see if we get some more AMD up at 153. But until then, I'm just going to stone cold chill right now. We're $6 in the money on the sticky note there. We're $1.50 here on AMD.
My trail's in on Meta now.
Okay, yeah.
So basically,
might be good.
It confirmed a bit of a pattern. Like, you had one bounce. Come to my chart for a quick second. I'm in ARM. One little bounce here, and then a rejection. It's now broken support, so we're looking for VWAP next. Trail back into 425. So it is what it is. I'm into ARM for the first time, and we just grabbed it here as NVIDIA just gave up 815. I was going to short 98s, and then this happened. Right, I said, why look at NVIDIA when I can look at ARM putting in lower highs? So I saw this curl, like, okay, it goes 815. I'm going to get a starter position in ARM. I would like to add here in the 98 level if you get it, and then stop at that high. So right now it's looking pretty solid for the shorts. If NVIDIA can't hold 800, I think everything is going to look good to the short side. And if you're watching, look, AAL actually gave it up, so I'm glad we didn't look at that. And then Ford also gave it up. The two things that were up on earnings last night. Ford's red, 1.5% to the downside. AAL also giving up the ghost. So we're into ARM. That's the only new position for me as we got it underneath VWAP. I think 95 we can get to here. But I like that relative weakness versus NVIDIA reason for it. And Lam didn't have a great quarter either.
And hopefully I'll have some time. I want to create a sort of like a trading template for everybody. Look at this 430 short right there. And I just showed Sharif. The 3 trades that we have written on here are Apple short 170. That's $1. AMD short 153. That's $2. And then Meta short 430. That's $6. The only other trade that we wrote down here was Snap. Neil's got that. That's short at 11. And then Tesla 168. And we actually left Tesla alone for a second here. But it got going. But again, in the vein of being patient and waiting, see, I'll show you the problem with this. This is still, you can't see because I'm going to drop it everywhere. It's still very full, and it's almost tipping over when I do that, but it's cold already.
Mine's also.
Like, he gives this huge cup and loads it up, and then it's like.
That's why I don't like that big.
Oh, by the way, I just want to, I'm about to add to this because, on today, whoops. Hey, what's up, Kim Ann Curtin? I just clicked on that, so I don't know whoever that is. But right here, you could see, hey, what's up, Zuckerberg? Right there. Little nervous, but not anymore. We talked about buying that dip. That was a good one there. But this, to me, is what it's about right now. Shout out to High Park and everybody else. You get good vibes, you get good returns. So right there. So I say shout out to that. And family over everything. I have a shirt that says Etobicoke over everything and Toronto over everything, but I should make another right there. Okay, a nice little move back here now, obviously for Meta, and look what it bounces off of. No surprise there, basically clean off of that 200 period moving average. So nice clean bounce back off of that. And then AMD as well, bouncing off the 200. So, you know, we can think the market's going lower here, but at the same time, these technical levels still need to be respected because they're bouncing off them. So it's going to give you opportunities for reloads. It's going to give you opportunities to do everything. So I'm going to try to be as patient as I can. Of course, Apple is back into that dollar club and trying to break lower. I say Apple does. This is the one that I'm going to wait for because we're still up on the day on Apple. I feel like people might realize that and say, huh? Let's go down. So there goes Apple right now. Here comes AMD. And I will go and refill my coffee as Meta breaks. Now, wow, but 420. Okay, yep. Now we're going. We do have pending home sales. Let's go over to Adara.
We're just getting these pending home sales numbers in right now. Pending home sales month over month is in 3.4% versus the consensus of 0.3%, forecast of 0.9%. So pretty much quite a bit higher than expected across the board there. Waiting for that year-over-year number, but we're expecting, or sorry, the forecast of negative 4% there for the year-over-year. So we're going to take a look at the SPY and then come back to that. Continuing to move downward here on the SPY, as is the NASDAQ amidst some negative reactions to earnings, particularly Meta, bringing the market to the downside. We do have Alphabet and Microsoft earnings after close as well, so it'll be interesting to see how those could potentially move the market. Still waiting on those pending year-over-year home sales here, so we're going to wait on that. Some earnings to keep an eye on today as well if you missed them. American Airlines initially trading higher, now down about 2%. They missed both EPS and revenue expectations, but they provided a more optimistic outlook than expected. We also have IBM to the downside. They beat EPS expectations, missed their sales expectations, and they did also announce the acquisition of HCP, HashiCorp, right now trading down about 10%. I'm going to see if we have these year-over-year numbers. Not quite yet, but basically pending home sales month over month higher than expected, guys. Also, we are brought to you by Kalshi. Have you ever wanted to trade on events that directly relate to companies and the economy? Kalshi is the first legal financial exchange in the US where you can bet on any event. Ever wondered if TikTok will be banned, how many cars Tesla will ship this quarter, or what a new movie's Rotten Tomato score will be? Now you can use Kalshi to put your predictions to the test and trade on what you really know. Visit kalshi.com/tradertv to sign up today and grab a $20 bonus after depositing $50 exclusively for the first 500 people using promo code TraderTV. It's easy to get started. Choose an event, like if Boeing will have a new CEO this year, currently priced at 76%. Buy 100 shares at 76 cents each, and if Boeing announces a new CEO by year end, you cash out $100 on your $76 bet. Don't just watch the news, profit from it. Join Kalshi's 100,000 users and dive into diverse markets, make your moves, and potentially profit from global events. Kalshi.com.
Yup.
Oh, Meta just missed a shot at a reload. It just put in a lower high there on Meta. So 429, you can probably, well, maybe not. Okay, I was about to say you can stick a fork in the 429 again, but then we're right back up to 27s. One more pop, and we'll look to reload that short. Snapchat's also starting to come back in, so the same level. A third time, gonna let it try to run that top. If it makes the same rejection, we'll try to short it back in through. Let me just quickly double check you. Yeah, Intel, I'm going to cancel my order on Intel. We're not going to get that one up there. We are in the ARM short, and apologies for completely ignoring. I knew there was something I was totally forgetting. Alibaba is doing a bull flag again. So when things settle down at 10 o'clock, it's like, remember what Baba's done every day. Dip and rip. There's your dip. Here's your VWAP consolidation. It's holding 74. I do like some Alibaba. 74 level looks pretty solid, but the market's testing lower, so I think this is the point where you look for those longs, but if they don't bounce, if you don't see a consolidation, if you don't see strength or support, you don't have to have it. ARM, we got it. VWAP looking for a push back to the low of the day as NVIDIA's starting to calm down. Yeah, Meta's really dancing. I know a lot of people have said look at end phase, but I think getting out of pocket on a day like today when you have so many earnings is not going to be the way to go. Because what will happen is you go look at something else that you weren't planning on trading, and if Meta gets back up to 430, you miss a chance to short that, if that's what you're doing. I'm not telling everyone you got to do it, but I want the reload back into Meta. I got my scalp trade at my trail in when it broke back through 425, so I took it and ran, and I'm looking to get back into that one. So that's the priority here.
All right. Yeah, if Meta does come back up, so we're out of like, I mean, I have to look to see how many shares we had, but okay, here we come up to the upside. So it's coming up to that 428.50 level-ish again, or it's at 428.50, 429.50 is where we're at here. I feel comfortable shorting again up near 430. We still have that same stop at 430.50 right now. So let's see what happens here with Meta as, again, you know, like I was saying, you can hold things forever, but then you have to be right forever. There is worth value here in scalping, and that's what we've done there. We did it again on AMD as it just, remember it was up to 152, and we're like, oh man, we got to respect that little level right there. Well, we did, and it's right here right now. So let's wait to see what happens now, but we did take another piece out. We took out a third of that one because we had reloaded it up here at 153 again. We would be infinitely higher if we had just waited for that level, but it feels like a broken record as this happens every day. All right, here's Meta. We just missed. That's crazy that we were at 50. So we'll just punch a little. Okay, now it's going to fill me.
I got my favorite number.
Yeah, there we go. We got it. So here it comes back in right now. Watch out now. Meta is danger zone now as we continue to go a little bit higher, trying to break right now. Remember, last time we broke and came back down. So we'll see if we could do that. There it is, but that's not enough right here. Let's see if it comes back just a little bit more than this. Would be nice here on Meta. We'll punch out a little bit there. Yes, sir. There it is again. Another hot dog cannon for a little bit of a win there on Meta. As you can see, we took two load-ups. I will take red because we are bearish today. Thank you, Randy, and thank you for doing that on the run there. I went to go get me and Neil coffees, and Randy was like, I'm here, baby.
I don't know why I'm sniffing it like I put sweetener or something in it. I don't.
Okay, but again,
I love the aroma of coffee. I know something.
This coffee again is like not that
well,
warm.
it's okay. It's right. I want to get a 28-bit here if we're even able to get it. Oh, Meta just took the 430 half.
Yep, there it goes.
So there it goes. It just took it out. Let's see if it'll be. If it does a fail break, I don't mind getting back in, but it needs to hold underneath 430. That just hasn't happened yet. I'm giving a couple of counts. Snapchat I have to watch as well. Snapchat's about to take out the, never mind.
Here it goes.
Snapchat also took out that local high at the same time. So it's a sympathy play. So obviously when one goes, the other goes with it. All right, if we're going back to the upside, where are you, Alibaba? Baba. Okay, Baba's still holding VWAP, still the same pattern.
Meta
yeah, I like VWAP here.
Overbought.
It's a bit of a flat bottom, flat top break as well in Alibaba. I like it back into 74, but until the market was breaking higher,
440.
I didn't necessarily want to see anything else. But the market showing some strength to get any kind of a long trade. 440 is the next. I had 430, 440, 450. I'm keeping it very, very simple with Meta. That was 430. 440 is the next round even number. So if it doesn't curl fail here, then I wait for the next level up. Snapchat's a bit different because you've got 11 even still for Snapchat. It's only at 1083. So Snap could go to $11 and I still go back into that one. But eyeballs on Meta, Snapchat, I'm not really changing, the names that I want to trade.
Yeah, same thing, man. So Snapchat comes up to a level that I'm comfortable with, so we will now look for that one. You can, so we did, yeah, I mean, you can't celebrate and party on, when you make winning trades and then not explain and, figure out what's going on when you make losing trades, and that was Meta. Meta broke that 430. So we're gone. It's basically the same kind of stuff that we talk about all the time. You can sit in something until you're wrong, but better to get out until you're right. And we'll have to wait. Wait until you're right. And what I mean by that is wait until you see something that you've seen before. Like for me to get in, and just because we're mad at the stock makes no sense at all. So let's just wait. I mean, we love Meta. It's just let's just wait to see if it can control itself up on the upside and let it try to die down a little bit. Maybe that was the push right there. We just try. Okay, well we're short now, so it doesn't matter. 433.52. Whoop, there it goes. 434 now. We're not. Yeah, see. All right, well, here we go, man. This is starting to rip now for us, not for us, the other way, of course, because we're short, on Meta. Watch out for 435. So we were just looking at 432, and it just went up $2, almost in a straight line. There it goes. So if we break through 430, there it goes, Neil.
Here we go.
It's going through 435, man. We better look at our Snapchat position,
That
too.
just gave me Snapchat at 90.
Yep.
So, you know, like we talk about it being a sympathy play.
Can't hold this down
One
for
goes
long.
up, the other goes up as well. Now, if there's a big down candle on Meta, I'm watching it like a hawk that isn't 440, I'd probably take a shot getting more shares underneath 11 on Snapchat. But we had to get out of the original short. Man, that pattern's higher lows. That could have been a breakout long. It could have been, it is what it is. Didn't take it, but that could have been a breakout long, no question about it.
It's going to break now.
NVIDIA, okay, this is that setup on NVIDIA. Oh, this is what happens when you're bearish. Is
We just
NVIDIA,
gotta go long.
NVIDIA has this now flag breakout at 8:15 set up. So, as I said, it's been 11 for 13, and if it goes 11 for 14 when I'm bearish, then so be it. But you guys can all see, like NVIDIA tries to take out the bottoms, it stair steps up, it shows you a level, and now 8:15 kind of looks like a break. I'm still overall bearish. ARM's still underneath 98, so that's holding. But if you see me long NVIDIA, it's because it's an 8:15 breakout trade.
So I think what's happening here with Meta is that like there's a lot of people like us that were like, hey, we got to buy this name on weakness, and they did not let the 3-day rule come into play at all. Because everything else is fine. AMD is still $2. Apple is still $1. Snapchat's not doing much. I mean, it's going up, but I'm more looking at like Meta because
This is,
you know, was that the top there? We
Aftermarket
try it.
38
What was
was the
that?
level.
Yeah, I was looking at 40s again. I don't think that was. I mean, I'll try it there on the break back. We're not trading large shares now because you could see this is just loss, loss, loss. But, you know, so obviously we're not feeling these levels. So let's just try to see if that was wicked out there at the top. But we have a top wick there as well. So we'll go short on this and see if it will pull back just a little bit now. But we got to hold this now to make it back, right? Like a 430 or so level. So let's wait to see if we can get that back in now on Meta. We're an amazing 10 cents in the money right now. So let's see. Here it comes. We will take this. We will take a level down there for this 40 or 50 cents. If we can get it, there it is. We'll take a 40 fill. Now we're starting to break a little bit lower on Meta. But again, we're trading this a little bit differently now. The level of like our supreme confidence is gone. And that was that 430 level. So once that's broken, it's a slowdown on the share size and try to pick your spots. So we tried that twice already, got run over both times. Let's see if it will work now. We're bidding 433 to try to take $2 back down on this name now. So that's what we got to do to get back into the pocket. Let's be patient with this. 435, we're short right now.
well, so we're long NVIDIA. It made that break of 8:15. So far, resistance at 8:16.5. Here's 8:18, 8:19. Actually, it's 8:18.5. That's where the next offer is going to be. And this level up here is 8:22. So we'll go station to station on NVIDIA on this breakout play. Kind of thought it was going to be a short day, but you know, it is what it is, man. You know, like you can think anything you want, and the market doesn't give a darn what you think. And I've learned that lesson over and over again. Like you can have, like if you're unwilling to sometimes take a setup in the other direction, when the market's showing you that that's what's happening, then you're just going to miss out on trading opportunities. And again, this is just a simple, yeah, you know, it's a bull flag breakout. And that's the lesson this week, is bull flag breakout. So it looks like it's turning at 8:18. I just tried to grab some underneath 8:18. That'll be the next leg. 8:22 is the target. And we're just underneath break even now that it's holding the bid. So NVIDIA to the upside. I did get Alibaba, which is just a consolidation law. Man, Baba's been doing this VWAP consolidation thing literally every day this week. I'm just trying to join the party, man. It's just, it's giving it to you, and it's just slowly going up. It's really only going like 50 cents or $1 at a time, and it's taking most of the day to do it, so I'm just doing that same thing. ARM came out as NVIDIA went up, so we had the short. ARM broke out the 98 level. Obviously, we'll take the hit there, but my concern will be, can NVIDIA make that next push? A lot of sellers at 8:17 here, it looks like.
Oh, man. I am, Yeah, I mean, Meta just keeps going. It keeps retracing, and we keep getting in the money, but then there it goes. I was just gonna say, oh, Ron, sorry, that was Snapchat. So it keeps retracing. We took some profit. We'll take that out there at 437, but the move is not continuing lower. So yeah, we're gonna be off of that one for a minute, and I think we got to now start to. I mean, there's that 17.4. Remember, we had faded this, and then it wasn't right yesterday. No, or maybe that was 17.5. So now we're gonna have to wait because that was a big move there. We're gonna stay away from Meta. There was the level, of course, that we mentioned before of 440.
It's 440 or bust.
But that's what I'm saying, like, is that an or bust level or what? Because right now we're gonna have to wait on that. We are loaded up nicely on Snapchat just in case there is a push down.
Time to kick the tires and light the fires.
Yeah, well, I'm already lighting a couple of fires for sure. And they're blowing up. So we'll have to wait. We've lit some fires on Meta, but Snapchat is sort of the name that's much more in the pocket for me right now. So
Snapchat's chilling. I think.
Yeah, we wrote down 11. We got 93s.
I think 11. Look, Snapchat at 11 is
okay
obviously the better trade because Meta is flying much more. So if Meta curls, Snapchat's gonna die. The way I see it, I haven't added to Snapchat. I still just have 90s. Actually, my price is 90 half, so it's probably showing you guys 91. My price is 90 half. I don't know why I feel like I need to be that particular about it, but I took 2 entries, and 90 half is the price. I want to add to it above 95 into that 11 area, but it is going to be now the concern, Meta. Once it's above 439, I'm going to be in position probably really quickly short. NVIDIA's punched through 818. I like 822, so probably $6. If it gets through 820, I'm going to trail it through 820. But yeah, I'm not glued to that level 2. I'm glued to the moving freight train, which is about to
freight train up.
Break 39s. Nope.
Oh my God.
All right. We're here now.
Thing is like this move is to be, honestly, man, we probably should have expected this a little bit more than we did. That's too bad. There was so many opportunities. Oh, we're still on Snapchat. Hold on a second. Here's Meta. There was so many opportunities to get away from this name. Like, look at those. It's like when we got this bid down there at 424, and then it came back and bounced off the 200 period right there. Like, that's supposed to be something. You know, that was supposed to be something, and then we based out right there. So again, let's just like put on our thinking cap here and like try to think a little bit better because we're not, okay, well now we're spinning it, but you know, this is a risky trade that was probably not well devised. By myself, so
ain't over yet.
No, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. We still got a position on it. We just took money, guys. We just took $1. We just took 80 cents on that, and we still have got 60% of the trade. So let's wait to see what happens now for Meta. Maybe we do pull back into this 436-ish area.
So Snapchat's now at 1099.
Oh no! See, now that one's going against me.
Which would be that's a nice little 100-meter time if you're into that kind of a thing. But I want it down, get down. So I have Meta at 39.16. Let's see if we can get the first. Oh well, technically that's like $1 and change. We'll take that. We'll try to ring the register there. NVIDIA still chilling at 818, just keeping tabs on that. I got 94 as a price now on Snapchat. You're really stair-step up. 430, look, if 430 was the big level, the first original short level, I think if you pull back on 440, you should be seeing the 430 level, to be sure. So we'll keep reloading this one every chance it gives us until that level breaks. Oh, and by the way, Alibaba, thank you, Alibaba. So it's bouncing off VWAP pretty nicely. We just got into the halves. I didn't even notice we were past the halves. So I'm going to offer right in front. So VWAP bouncing Alibaba. Don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Actually, I haven't hit that one in a while.
Yeah, that's right. That used to be a staple.
Oh, no.
We like that.
Oh, I know what I did.
All right, we...
oh, yeah, I bid everything out instead of P.
That's probably a smart move, dude. Here comes Meta down. We still have half of our Meta, but...
I was wondering, like, what the hell?
Well, what price did you get? I mean, we got 437.50 there as our last fill, or 437.50, exactly.
Oh.
I said we would look for maybe 436 and change. I think we could probably do that. We are starting to pull back in a little bit here. So we've made back... Like, it doesn't really matter what we make back because at the end of the day, everybody's risk parameters are going to be a lot different than somebody else's. So, you know, we've already had some bad trades on Meta. I'm not happy with it. So regardless of what happens,
NVIDIA 822.
boom.
It's 12 for 14. So we're shooting 85.71428.571 on that trade over the last few weeks, where it's simply a bull flag breakout where you fail the low at the open. Really, this could have been had here, but it doesn't really matter. It's the whole idea of it traps shorts and then it's just momentum breakouts. But yeah, in hindsight, this was even better. You could have had the 800 long. I was shorting it at that level, but the longs that have come through, I'm even between the two of Meta and NVIDIA, but you got to keep in mind I was short NVIDIA twice before this happened. Meta was not necessarily, it might end up being okay, but that was not really the intention to bid it all out. But we're going to get right back in off 839 here, it looks like, on META. So, right,
Yep,
we're back into it. So we're back to square one, and it ain't the mall.
See, sometimes the mistakes pay off. You know, that's what I was saying. Like, where did you get out? Like, this name is going to be rallying, I feel like, today. We are lucky enough to get some Snapchats out there. We're short at 95. We got a 95. That was just on that pushback down there for Meta. I still want, remember, we wrote down 11s. So we just took some more 90. We took some, well, we started it down here at 85. But then we took, you know, much more at 96 and then more at 98. We were just sitting here. I mean, these are the trades that we've wanted on. So hopefully we can pull back a little bit here. Remember, this is a different story because this is not an earnings story. This is an earnings story tonight for Snapchat. So again, not 100% certain. Okay, we just reloaded there. Let's take another piece for $1. There it is. Let's go. Let's just keep spinning it. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but like we're slowly, I am. I don't know if you got the reload there, but we just got another piece at 429. Sorry, 439. Was it 439 even? Yes, it was 439. So 438.88 right there. So now we just took $1 on it. Let's see if it comes back down into the downside right now. Meta's trying to work. AMD's upside, so you've already identified that with NVIDIA.
Well, I haven't seen it. I have no idea what NVIDIA.
No, but I'm saying NVIDIA is ripping. So, I mean, AMD is making that move back to 153. Maybe we should look at that. Let's go to the small cap recap as there it goes. Nicely done for Meta.
Much like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, IWM trying to curl up here, but still down more than 1% on the day for the Russell 2000. Some individual small cap runners here include Safe and Green Holdings, SGBX. This one announcing it's entered into agreement for producing 4 molecular electrical distribution centers for this deal with a big box retail marketer. Nice look here for SGBX. Next up we have Processa PCSA. This one trending to the upside after getting a price target of $8 and a buy rating from H.C. Wainwright, about 6% short float for this one as well. And last but not least, Aclarion, ACON. This one continuing to trade higher after announcing that solution will be part of this chronic lower back pain treatment. It also does have a market cap of about $2 million. So ACON to the upside as well, guys.
Oh, man.
Already,
okay,
man.
bye-bye, Meta. Good out on the downside there. But yeah, Neil, we're going back upside right now on Meta.
We're going streaking through the quad.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, Meta.
So we actually didn't do too much damage there, actually.
So with Meta, like your stair step up, it'll be a happy accident that we got out there for taking some profit, but I probably wouldn't have taken all. I basically just jumped right back in up at that top, and now you're flying. Snapchat hasn't broken 11 though, so one of these things is not exactly like the other, and we sort of identified that, but probably should have been a little bit more aggressive with it. If you show me that the sympathy play is rejecting and not breaking highs when the other one is just flying through. And if Snapchat was breaking out at 11:15, I'd be telling you something different here. But when you see this, you got to be thinking this is the better play, because then if you turn around in Meta, you're just going to get that benefit anyways. So you might as well short the one that's at a liquidity point or underneath and showing you a wick high through 11 even. Meta now at 442. My stink bid in the long-term account, just like it was with ARM, is no good. So my 392.69 stink bid that I threw in last night on the personal account is just not going to happen for me. This exact same thing happened when I was going to dip buy ARM. It dipped to 85. On Sunday night, I put in like an 81 or an 82 or whatever the heck I did, and then it just rallied the next day. It is what it is.
Yeah, at least one of our calls will be right. Apple to the short side is going to be right, and AMD. It's Meta's the one that's not been good. Snapchat's been good. Snapchat's been fine. Obviously off that 11, but it's right there now, so you got to watch out for that break up to 02 on Snapchat. Like Meta is still, I don't even really want to look at it anymore because it's going to have to go to 450.
No, but I'm leaving it up because I'm in Snapchat.
At this point, well, yeah, I'm in.
If this thing gets to 450, then it's probably time to hit the exit on Snapchat, whether or not it's above that 11 area and holding a bid. So we got one long trade, and even then, it's just like good old Alibaba. If it ain't broke, like come on, look at Alibaba every single day. Dip, then rip, then dip, then rip, and dip, and rip, and dip, and rip. The only thing, see, what you should be doing is just buying the dip and not just waiting for it to get to VWAP and hold.
Right.
That would be the, see, now if you're thinking 2 steps ahead, which I'm not, I'm thinking the easy trade is when the buyers already show up, just join them later. I love doing that. Like, let somebody else be the front money, and then you wait till it looks like it's a bullish setup, and then you get in. But at the end of the day, if you bought every single dip for the last 4 days in Alibaba, you've gotten the high of the day. The pre-market highs every single time. Every time. Until it stops happening, I think you just do it. And then when it gets to VWAP and it holds VWAP, you buy VWAP till the high of the day as well. 75 is a good enough target for me because there's resistance overhead. So we're just in Snapchat. We're just in Alibaba. I should probably go and look now at Intel. Yeah, this can't even get to 35. So they report tonight. Probably not going to be the best. I mean, okay, yeah, it's probably not going to be the best. But if it can't break the 35 level, I kind of like it a little bit better above 35. Like money fills above 35, rejecting 35 in general is the way this stock has been going.
Wow, Google actually went to 150. Man, I was gonna buy back some Meta and some Google today, but now we've gone nicely to the upside on those plays. And by the way, like Snapchat just went right back into the money again and then just ripped up again right there. Like we were just at 95s there. And I was like saying, okay, well, we're short here, 97s. Maybe we'll take a little bit out and then it just goes ramp right back up to the upside. So we'll watch out for that one. We did take out some Apple there. That's still going lower. Like, so, I mean, if there's one name that we were, you know, it does go to 170.50 or 170.60 there. But you're starting to push lower here. So this is, I mean, Snapchat doesn't look like it's going to work out. We'll give it a couple more minutes. But if it doesn't, it's getting close to the highs now for Snapchat. So, you know, we've gotten some out on the way down. We haven't gotten enough out to absorb sort of this. So if it does continue to go up higher, okay, Snapchat will be the loss. But yeah, Meta's still 443 and still going higher. And then
825.
Yeah, woo. We did have an opportunity here on AMD.
I always get out too early.
To get out right there at 152.50 off this recent, off this recent reload. So let's just be careful. Secretary Yellen is speaking right now as well, so that could be something. But okay, here we go. Snapchat, we're short now at 11.
Alibaba, apparently.
So this is the price that we want. We wanted this one. Yeah, she is talking some Chinese.
Well, that's exactly what she'd be talking about. What else would they be talking about? So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
in China, isn't she? Isn't that where?
No, I thought wasn't Blinken going to China, not her?
I'm not sure. We'll have to look it up.
No, I thought Blinken was making the. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put a trailing stop, and I do not want. Like, I'm not giving this. If something gets said, and all of a sudden all the Chinese ADRs flush, just for whatever reason, man, I'm not trying to get trapped on that. Who knows? So I'm gonna get a trailing stop in here on Alibaba underneath. It's like 74, 75. So Alibaba, it's been good, but yeah, I don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth. You tell me that Yellen's talking, and I don't want to get rinsed. We're going to see 450 on a Meta. Well, I did say 430, 440, 450. So this is 430.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I shorted at 430 and only 430. I shorted at 440 and only 440, and it's going to get to 450 at this rate. So buckle up. You just got to be ready for it when it gets there.
Buckle up, buttercup. Yeah, we are doing okay here as that reload on Snapchat does bring it back down a little bit. AMD, we still can't get much love on the downside for AMD. Let me put a bid at 60 and cancel our 50s and see if we can get that as here comes Snapper right back down into the downside.
I love Red Snapper.
Right now,
that
yeah, very tasty fish.
That is my favorite. Red Snapper is my favorite fish. 100%.
All right.
There's a really great place on the beach. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if it's still there in Antigua, so I probably didn't say that. We knew the owners. Oh my goodness, the red snapper was delicious.
When was the last time you were there?
It's been way too long.
When was?
It was, let me think, 2000 and, oh goodness, is 2016? No.
Antigua.
No, it can't be. Antigua. My family's from Antigua. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, look, I gotta get back.
Yeah. Well, I was
Holy
just gonna say. I
crap.
mean, shout out if anybody's there. If
It's
they
been
know
8 years? Oh, that's bad.
a place that's on a beach somewhere in
Yeah, that's
Antigua that
horrible.
sells red snapper. 122 in the money now for Apple. I'm trying to be patient with Snapchat here. We have the price we thought we could get here on Snapchat. Not that we thought we could get, but one that we would like. I'm still disappointed. Like there's 11. I'm still disappointed in Meta. I'm still looking at it. That's why I keep looking over there. I want to go short, but it's like we've already touched that stove way too many times, and our hand it has like first-degree burns on it. It's not super burnt up yet, but the thing is we do have a big position on Snapchat, so hopefully that can go for us. And AMD did come down, so far AMD is good. So like on the sticky note right now, we'll be wrong on Meta because we wrote down 430. So that's going to be wrong. But the AMD 153 level has now printed numerous times. And then Snapchat right now at 1099 is going to the downside, hopefully. Hopefully we can be right on that one. And then Apple, no more right than on Apple today, as that's been really destroyed. And not destroyed, but continues to go down despite the market trying to get near highs. So now that Meta is finally falling, maybe Snapchat will follow suit. I
waited for that to actually add up.
I'm not bidding anything yet on Snapchat. I'm going to put something at 9. Oops, here it is. Sorry about that. It is at 95. Look at Meta really pulling now down $5. What's up, Adara?
Just a summary of some of these Janet Yellen comments quickly as well. Earlier in her speech discussing inflation, just saying that the Fed, basically echoing what the Fed's been saying, that they want additional evidence of substantial decline, to use her words, in inflation before rate cuts. Mostly, though, mentioning what's going on with China and China's economic issues as of right now. So those inflation comments came a little bit earlier in her speech. Also, interesting update here with Bitcoin. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, IBIT, yesterday snapped its 71-day inflow streak. So yesterday, no investor inflows, and it had inflows every day since its opening of trading on January 11th. So interesting note there. A little bit of weakness, perhaps, in Bitcoin on the investor side, and certainly a bit of weakness in Bitcoin on this chart as well. Third day in a row to the downside for BTC in the daily chart. Currently trading here around 63.5 right now, down about 2.5%. Ethereum also weaker here, pulling back near that 3,100 level, down also about 2.5%. Whereas these cryptocurrencies a bit mixed, or cryptocurrency related names. BNB up about 1.3%. The rest of these mostly to the downside. Dogecoin down about 4.5%. Shiba Inu down about 2.5%. Avalanche down about 6%, guys.
Yeah, that thing's...
yeah, crypto, man.
Yeah, crypto's a dangerous name here, 64, especially if the NASDAQ gives it up. I mean, I don't think crypto's in trouble at all, but, I mean, if the NASDAQ's already given it up, but today it's battled back, so
Coinbase is losing the 50 period on the daily, like right now. That's, like, if you look at this pattern, see trend reversals everywhere.
Damn you, Snapchat.
And I know the market's rallying, but remember the NASDAQ's down 1.3%, the ES down 1.2%, so you're underneath this 50, and if you're really looking, I think this is lower highs into a trend. I know it looks good, but this looks like a downward trend in coins. Snap's going to be a concern. I do this every single time on NVIDIA for this trade, where I know what my strategy is, and then like after I'm out, it's like, oh, but it pressed all the way to 824. But you know, the breaks to this level and that level, so that's what we did. The good news is, if you're short stuff, NVIDIA is now looking like it's top heavy. I still have not been able to get Intel short, which I suppose means it's really weak. And after that, I would like to be shorting above 35, but if it can't break 35, then I will start getting into Intel. And I see Tesla. I'm not standing, I mean, Tesla is an absolute rocket ship. The market's at a curl level, and Tesla's a rocket ship. I'm still saying that 170 level from yesterday, but it couldn't get to 170. It got to 168 and turned. Just like with Meta, I think if you're going to look for key levels to short, then wait for key levels to short.
Come on, AMD, break yourself.
It's that simple. Meta's really pulling back now. Look at that.
Good.
Okay.
All right, we're
it'll
just chilling out here right now because we're at AMD as another dollar. We just shorted that. We're waiting for 152 to print. What's up, Adara? There goes Snapchat back up, by the way.
Beware of this microcloud hologram here, HOLO. This is not the first time this one is run. This one runs semi-frequently, has a short float of about 13%, about under 4 million share floats, pretty small float, pretty significant short float there for HOLO. Not saying any news on this, but keep an eye on it, guys.
Well, if you're holo, I'm holo. We're all holo, polo, as Snapchat is going to the downside right now, and so is AMD. Let's go. Bang, bang, bang. Sirens up. I mean, you have Meta? No.
Nope.
It's a good thing we have Snapchat. I mean, we
Nope.
have XXX amounts of shares on Snapchat, so it's fine. We'll take some more out here. We just reloaded it. I'm just like, damn, shorty, as my kids say.
Damn Gina.
Oh, damn. But look what's happening over here. We'll you know, okay. We'll take some more here as this is starting to fall down again. So we can maybe ring a lot of registers now because this has been a big trade
Look
here.
at Meta, man.
I'm looking at Meta, but honestly, guys, I'm not, remember no FOMO? We're in a monster right now. As long as Snapchat can fall back in, then Meta can go down as low as it wants to go. Because we've got Snapchat and no FOMO here. I have FOMO because we're down on it, and it just went down into that level. But this one here is the pay dirt. It's Snapchat for me, and glad that finally happened. Like, we just got short, like crazy up there. So now let's just wait and see if Meta does, Neil, continue that move back down. Let's take some more out.
I got eyes on VWAP here.
Yeah, I'm now out of 70% of this Meta. That's how many shares we had.
You meant Snapchat. I know.
Snapchat, yeah, I'm out of Meta. I wish.
No, it's fine. I'm out of 60% myself, but see what's happening on Meta? I'm basically watching Meta 434. It looks like it's holding a higher low, so I want a little bit more out there. Oh, Alibaba came out, so I don't know if maybe Yellen said something, but either way, Alibaba did this reversal. So shout out. This is why you want to be paying attention to the news, right? Like shout out to Adara for letting us know that was happening, because I really didn't know, and I probably would still be in this and not have gotten that 75. Maybe we get a VWAP reload. I have no idea. But the second I heard she's talking, it's like, okay, well, she's probably talking about China. I'm in the Chinese name, just take the profit. So we're out of Alibaba, still just in two names. I did get Intel, which is still on the NASDAQ, Neil. Did get Intel, and it just bounced off VWAP. So that's a pretty harsh bounce off VWAP. I think I'll wait for the high if I'm going to reload this one. That'll be off the 35 level. So let's get some 90s this time instead of the 80s on Intel. Next bids on Snapchat are until it breaks the 1090 area. And we got, actually might even draw that back because Meta's now at 432.
Let's go.
And this is the thing. The best level is the one that usually doesn't get to. And that's what happened here. Like, look at the reversal candle. The other option for a trade is to get it on the other end. Like this move here, there's your rejection candle, this big strong one like it did here, and then you just try this short, like a 442 would have given you VWAP in here. But you always try to learn and do a little bit better. I'm exactly flat on Meta because every single time I was in the money, I just rolled that into the next short, like every single time. And then I didn't get the last one. It is what it is. Snapchat is making up for it at least.
Yeah, Snapchat might not make up for it soon as it's coming back to the upside. We were able to get, like I said, 70%. We actually got more since then, and we just punched a 94 out right there to back up to the upside. So, yeah, this has been, like we talk about how fun these days are, and they are exactly that. And you just got to be careful because this market can throw you for loops, and that is for sure. But what a fun day it's been for us. Make sure that you do hit the like and the subscribe button. Wow, okay, yeah, good congratulations on Daryl right there. That was a good one.
442.
I mean, see, Daryl, that's the difference, right? It's like if you're going to go for the big trades, then that's what you need. So you probably have it on right now. You know, and that's how you can make all of your money back, you know, by making those great trades. So a shout out to you, Daryl, for that. I should have noticed that up there. Like I said, we just kind of left it alone because we had gotten hit so many times going short there. And again, look, like some of these are outs. But as you guys know, we'll trade big shares, so when we lose, we'll get hit there. So we're down on Meta, but we did make it back. We just put on probably more risk on Snapchat than we did on Meta because it actually came to this level of $11. But that's why our not our big loss, but it was kind of like in and around here. This 430, like we did put areas on there and then we reloaded and then got out. These are just kind of small cuts that all eventually wind up adding up. But the market right now, so forget about Meta for a second, I don't want to forget about it, but the market's bouncing around VWAP right now. So that was a huge move down, bouncing around VWAP and the 50 period. So here we go, like it's gonna test a little higher here, I feel like. So be careful with all of this. We could get back into this area. Again, Meta, a lot of people changed their minds. They were really red, obviously dead red early, and then all of a sudden, boom, back up there immediately, back up to the upside. So be careful. Meta had a little bit of a move down, but since then, it's really based and now gone higher and now stopped at the 50 period. Like, without a retracement back down to VWAP, I don't think I'm going to short this until we get way back up to some of these highs. Hence why we dumped a lot of this Snapchat. And we actually got out, as you can see, as AMD, basically waterfalls back into the 50 again. So a level that we liked was 153 on AMD. We hit that. We hit the 170 short on Apple that's on our sticky note. So both of those are really cooking. Our Snapchat is cooking off 11, but kind of flat now. And then the other trade that we only have 4 trades. They're all sticky note trades. Apple, AMD, Meta, and Snapchat. So we're sticking with our guns. It's just too bad that Meta fell on its face or fell on my face, but that's okay. We'll get that again. So far, so good here. Let's look for some more opportunities. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and the market, the market's starting to curl in here. And let's see what might be driving this market curl, some of the chips in Meta, with Sector Watch and Adara.
Come on.
Despite the overall weakness in a lot of areas of this market, which we will talk about, there is some strength in some departments. We have a lot of these chip names headed to the upside. AMD and NVIDIA especially here. NVIDIA supplier SK Hynix posting some nice earnings, so that could be what's driving NVDA. Health services also some nice strength there. Consumer durables as well, despite some earnings coming out of this name a little bit more volatile, earnings out of the sector. We do have Tesla bringing this group to the upside. Transportation also having some strength here as well in non-energy minerals. In terms of weakness, very much easy to find here on this board today. Retail trade led by Amazon to the downside. Finance pretty red here. Health technology, with the exception of Merck on earnings, pretty red across the board. And of course, we do have to talk about technology services. Meta, Microsoft, and Google all leading this group to the downside. We did have Meta earnings yesterday after the close. Microsoft and Alphabet earnings on watch for tonight, guys.
For fun.
But I know he didn't play for the Blue Jays. I don't care if you read it all.
Am I allowed?
Just chill, Neil. Wow. Calm down, Neil. We're getting some words over here.
I'm just saying, don't challenge me on Blue Jays trivia, man.
Neil, calm down, okay?
No.
Look, yesterday.
I used to read Blue Jays almanac.
Neil, no one even knows the story.
Okay, go, you tell us.
Okay, so yesterday, Sharif goes to me, did I know that Darryl Strawberry played for the Blue Jays? I go, almost immediately, I say, no, he did not. Then Sharif turns to me now and goes, yes, he did. Then Neil's now getting involved and saying, no, he is not.
So he said in 1998. I'm like, he was a Yankee in 98. In 1998,
Sharif is right here.
In 1998, I don't care what ChatGPT says. In 1998, Darryl Strawberry was a New York Yankee. You guys can all look it up right now. He was playing for the Yankees. I'll never forget that too, because he was involved in that. There was a huge brawl with I feel like it was the Baltimore Orioles and Armando Benitez or one of those dudes, and Strawberry was on the Yankees at the time. Anyways, it is what it is. You guys.
People are going to say in the chat that he did. People are going to probably be sure.
Well, maybe he was in a spring training. He didn't play a major league game for the Blue Jays. Maybe they signed to a one-day contract that we don't know about. But trust me, the guy he was a Yankee in 1998. You can look that one up. Bet.
Oh,
Bet
man.
That. What do we got going to the market? I'm just messing with you guys.
I mean, I don't know what cocaine prices are in Toronto, but.
That was more Doc Gooden than.
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah,
those Mets are crazy.
And
there. First of all, here we go. Yeah. So congratulations to everybody there on Meta, by the way, because that was the wick that we're waiting for. So we talk about learning something every single day, and I mean, we were waiting for that wick. I was even trying to show you them up here at 435. I don't know. like you see there was some here. It's just they didn't last, and then that one was more dramatic, and not even really with a big sell volume candle, but still that's kind of what we're looking for. And this is why I feel like trading is very, very difficult. It's because a lot of this will drive you crazy because you're going to look back and say, like you always hear me do, and it's just more for dramatics. There's nothing you can do when that kind of stuff happens. You will wick the highs of some trades. You'll see Neil and myself pretty much every day have the high or low of one of the names that we're trading. That's just how it works.
Sure.
And it could be both ways. It'll be you're getting stopped out at the high, or you've picked up the high or the low. It goes both ways. So it's like stock market gods just don't hate. Remember, they'll give you fills too that you perhaps weren't aware of. So, all right, 10:44 right now. So, Snapchat came back up. I thought I got out some more. Okay, I did. There we go. So we did. I put a 99 there to get some out. I thought I got it. We just did when it came back in. Meta and Snapchat are tied at the hip today. So if Meta falls, we took advantage of that. Snapchat's right here, right now. What else is moving around? What's USO doing?
Tesla is really...
I looked at Tesla, 166, right? I wrote down 168.
Higher lows again.
Oh,
it's going to get there. I think I like 170 still. Brad saying, look at Google. See, you know what? Sometimes I like when things look like this. I know it's trending to the upside, but I had some resistance levels on it. So this is Google. We take the first short, and then it did this wick high. So I short at that level, and then it starts trending to the upside. It holds the higher low. We back off. And you got to be able to back off. Sometimes the best you can do is back away from a thesis and just say, hey, man, it's doing the other thing, and wait for a key level. Maybe we're going to get 157 on Google. When I said we're not going to have it, when I sat down, I was like 157 short the pop on Alphabet. When we were sitting here at 55, when we broke down lower, I'm like, okay, we got to adjust the plan of action. So I'm waiting for 157 on this bad boy. It's just Snapchat and Intel for now. And oh my goodness, IBM approaching the low of the day. This was another earnings play. Yeah, I mean, it was an SSR bounce, but this couldn't hold above 170. This might have been an easier trade based on the aftermarket levels. Like, look at this. It just cannot seem to break that 170 even, so it fails a breakout. Now you're trending down. The nasty one of the day, I'm going to do this because RY, no word of a lie in the chat, just said, how far does Boeing go down? I just looked at this chart, and if there's a short right now in the market that is more simplistic than Boeing in a general sense, then it's got to be, I don't know. You show me, because Boeing, I don't know where the bottom is, man. Every single day, it just looks like this. There's little bounces, and they're just opportunities to short the pops in Boeing. You can count it up. I think there's 2 green days this month on Boeing, and you can barely even see them. Like, maybe it was up like 1.5% one day, but that's about it. It's a dumpster fire. I'm not calling any bottoms on there, even though I do think at some point when they just don't have bad news every single day, something's gonna good happen to them. I got one, there we go. I put one more bid in front of 1090, and now I'm waiting at the 1080s on Snapchat, but this is very much like Meta. Like, shorted one level, waited for it to get to the next level up, and it's still looking like it wants to punch a little bit higher. So we're just going to calm down. It's 10:47. We'll chill out. Obviously, the lesson of the day is going to be coming through at 11 o'clock. We'll be back at 2, but the trading is real, and the movement is spectacular, to steal something from Seinfeld there.
I mean, I think the lesson of the day should be, as you did, is we can all just go to Baseball Reference, and we should show that website to Sharif.
Oh.
So that he can go to Baseball Reference and look up to see if Darryl Strawberry was indeed a Blue Jay. Okay, so far so good here.
Hold on a second. I'll do 2 seconds.
Yeah, you can look it up. I mean, maybe there was a place that he was in there at one point. What about NVIDIA?
You want to know how gangster I am? Here, I can tell you he had a year with 39 bombs, 104. Yeah. Let's see where it is. 39 and 104 was his career year. Homers and RBIs, don't mess with me. 98, he was a Yankee. What's crazy is Darryl Strawberry never hit 40 bombs in a year. The guy was an absolute stud. There it is.
That's when everybody was
New York Yankees in 1988. I'm pretty sure that was the brawl. they had a big brawl, and he socked Armando Benitez, who was like 6'5", 250, and Strawberry's a big boy himself. It was one of the wildest, because there was an actual fight in baseball in 1998. I know they just kind of mess around nowadays, unless you're, back in the day, they used to really throw down, like Nolan Ryan, given that, but Sharif, man, I'm just saying, I know especially like 80s and 90s, I know my stuff. Anyways, doesn't really matter.
All right. All right, let's check out Ford. We haven't looked at Ford yet today. Yeah, so downside. I actually said this to Randy. I was like, I should probably sell the Ford move there today because it wasn't really that exciting. I mean, it had a nice move up, and then it was just faded all morning to the downside, and it hasn't really gotten that pop yet. So down 1.2% is Ford. I mean, it's at a good level to buy, but it's just like, again, I tend to stay away from earnings names. You know, obviously it worked out really well yesterday with Tesla, and it's worked out today with Snapchat against Meta. But here's Meta again, back down to 430. Like, wow, pretty nice move back in. We said maybe we'd have to have a look again, fade it back to VWAP. So right there, maybe we can look at a 430 long now. We still are in Snapchat though, so let's see. We'll take this long now against that 430. I mean, that is 427.50. Feel like we can sort of wait to see what does happen at VWAP. We didn't get there last time, so let's see. That's 427. I'm just, again, we've been wrong on the read of Meta, and we are short Snapchat. So we're not going to load up here at these levels, but we will take $1 if it goes back up there that quickly again. We are long at 4, there it is. So there's $1.40, like in a second there. But it's on the same kind of shares that we were continuously getting blown out of $1 losers here. So yeah, okay. There it is. Be patient sometimes, man. There's the move for Meta back through. Now we're $2 in the money on Meta, trying to get a little bit higher. That's 435. I mean, we could take another piece off right here. So far, so good. We made a little bit back there on Meta. I mean, I have to be pretty pleased with this. Nice move back up. Doesn't mean it's going to keep going. But here we go. Let's go back over to Adara.
Before Money Talks, we did just get some news coming in here that could be impacting some of these social media related stocks. ByteDance saying on its official count on Toutiao, which is a Chinese social media network also owned by ByteDance. ByteDance saying that they have no plans to sell TikTok, and the media reports are untrue. So ByteDance saying they do not plan on selling TikTok. Just something worth noting there coming out from ByteDance itself on its social media account. For the USD here, I put on the 5 minutes so we can see that move up we had leading into and after that GDP print that we got. Much lower than expected, 1.6% versus 2.5% expected, and 3.4% previous, thus moving the market a little bit. We also at the same time got continuing jobless claims a little bit lower than expected there, and core PCE prices higher than the estimate. So lots of different economic data driving this market today. Also some comments from Treasury Secretary Yellen basically saying that they're talking about China a little bit, but also mentioning U.S. inflation, saying that she still sees some underlying strength in the economy. So just something worth noting there. No Fed speak, but some talk from Fed's Yellen or Treasury Secretary Yellen. Also, we do have PCE index coming in tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that and how that could impact the USD, guys.
Thank you very much there, Adara. So one note, AAL has regained VWAP. So I said at some point, if it showed me some kind of strength, I would be interested in a long in AAL. At the open, everything tanked, higher low, break, hold VWAP. So the next step would be to sit on the bid in front of maybe actually at 14 and maybe just under it. And if we break VWAP down, it's an easy out. We've seen the airlines and travel be okay when the market's bad. So, just try to give it that credence. We're just still in this, we're in the same two shorts. Intel, okay, so what I did on Intel is gonna end up being wrong. Like as this was bouncing off VWAP, I made the decision, well, don't get filled at the same price. You should be, if it's doing higher lows, I should be shorting at the top. And the second I do that and make the decision not to reload at my price was the right price. So you're gonna make these adjustments to your strategy. I still believe when a stock is upward trending, and I'm shorting a lower high, then in that situation, shorting the lower high doesn't make sense. I should be getting a better fill. I'm risking less up there. I'm getting a better price if it falls into VWAP. It's just not going to work out and won't be the right call here in Intel. I'm going to bid in the 60s, but they report tonight. I'm not expecting great things from them. Their margins are going to be under pressure, all that kind of good stuff. They're going to talk about how much money it's going to cost them to catch Samsung and, more importantly, TSM, and how that's now going to be a 2026 to 2027 project as opposed to 2025. So anyways, Intel working to the downside. The NASDAQ and the ES both headed back toward the lows. It looks like we're going to get that 2% after all.
Okay, we just, so we were, I mean, you can probably see me looking at these things here. Okay, I was gonna say it's gonna break. So we just went, Snapchat just got us filled up there. Remember we were like, okay, let's see if Meta tests VWAP again. Well, here it comes one more time. We just took a 430. The 430 went $1.50 in the money again. I keep on thinking that we've got good prices and that we can run from here, but all that's really happening is it's kind of just like hovering and then going lower, hovering and going higher, and right now, it's funny because we had the short 430 and lost on it. Now are we gonna have the long 430 and lose on this again? So all we've really done is like lowered our expectations here on share size because it hasn't been right. The funny thing is that we're getting a pullback in Snapchat and a push back obviously in Meta as well. So these kind of two trades, it sucks because I can't even celebrate that Meta's going down because it's going down because, Snapchat's going down because it's going down against my Meta long. So I guess we should have just, there we go, now we're done. We're gonna play VWAP. So here we go. Looks like we'll lose again on the long here for Meta, but it's at VWAP. I think it's worth a shot here. Let's try it.
Yeah, and speaking of VWAP, I'm now long VWAP on AAL. So, hey, we're allowed to go long in the market.
Yes,
they're green
you
on
are,
the day.
Joe.
The report, you guys can read it. It was on the watch list as well. Make sure you're checking that out every single morning. But yeah, if it can't hold on to this, it's going to be an easy out underneath 1390. I'm not going to get complicated here. If it breaks 10s, I take something out in front of 1420 and then go from there. So, you know, keeping it tight to the vest is going to be the plan of action, and let's go 18s, and then we'll see if it can bust out. It is a relatively strong stock because the market's down. The other thing that you've got going for it at 14 is the 200-period moving average, right? So it's cresting that. It doesn't mean it has to hold it, but it doesn't hurt at all. So there goes Snapchat. Once it breaks 90s, we'll take some more out there. NVIDIA, if you're watching, I know we're not paying enough attention to Tesla and NVIDIA, but this was a Meta kind of day, so Meta and Snapchat were always going to be the focus. You know, and that's how the market is. Like, you know where you're going to be looking on a day like today. NVIDIA is holding a higher low, well above VWAP. This could make another run up. If it does, I probably don't want to be reloading too much in Intel if it makes another press to the high.
All right, let's go, man. Yeah, good call there. I didn't even realize Intel reports today, so we'll have to double check that. Well, not double check it, you're right. But we'll have to watch out for that. We just got a 430. Like, I mean, we just got excited there because we're finally deciding to start to scalp things out. So finally we take a VWAP trade, man. And then it goes. So, that was close there. All right, so we can hold something else for the dream, but so far so good on that reload there. Like, we're out of half now. So that was made a little bit back there, which was good. And then we're also able to take advantage of the drop in Snapchat. So that last like 3 minutes of action there really was nice. It's just hilarious that we have 3,400 people in the poll. Let me see how many likes we have.
50-50.
Go. 300 likes?
You have to refresh.
That can't be right. I mean, let me refresh this. I want people to hit the like and the subscribe because here goes Meta again, man. We're almost $3
Come on,
back.
everybody.
What is it?
Oh,
Take this opportunity to
900.
like and subscribe to our
We've
YouTube
got to
channel.
get this going.
Pointed, there's lots of bang.
You know what? Every time I hit yours, this happens. I'm not going to hit. No, yours goes all choppy and everything.
Yeah, well, I think we need to re-render those.
Yeah.
Raider, 917 likes. Come on, hit the like, hit the subscribe, let's get going on that one. All right, yeah, Snapchat's trying to go. Apple's $1.30 in the money. We've got AMD 70 cents. I mean, look what we have right now. Apple $1.30, AMD 70 cents, Meta holding on by dear life right here, probably going to go lower. And then we've got Snapchat, which has been really cooking off of our 11 level. We really, really like that one. All right, so it's a good thing we took out half, because it looks like now, as this breaks 428, we're going to be getting out very, very soon on Meta. So again, that scalp mentality working out there on Meta, but for how long, I don't know. And on that note, I'm going to put out another one here if we can get back into 429.30. And there it is again. I'm just going to spin the money. I want a lot more money, but today, Meta is taking mine. So we'll take a little bit more out there and just say thank you, Meta, for that, because we're pretty happy now that it's going back up to the upside here, breaking back through 430. Let's see if it wants to go a little bit higher and just continue to punch out of some of our Snapchat. So Snapchat's already down low. We've done really well on Apple, and it's just been a great day. It's almost 11 o'clock already, thank God.
Yeah, it's 10:59. We got seconds to go until we throw you guys on over. I just realized, oh my goodness, there's a couple of things we didn't even pay attention to. Like, we didn't even show a chart of Lamb today. Like, I didn't explain, like, the reason I was initially bearish on, I know we went long in NVIDIA, but I was initially bearish on the chips was because of Lamb. Lamb's now up 1%.
Ooh-wee.
So, you know, that just changes things a little bit, because they got dumped and it felt like it was going to be an ASML thing all over again. But shout out to, look at it, hold the line at 860 at a key level on Lamb. So, I mean, it's working right now that I'm short Intel. They report tonight, but it's worth mentioning. Lamb went red to green, and that's a power move as far as I'm concerned. But you know where you're headed. We'll be back at 2 o'clock for more real trading. But let's get on over. We got the professor, we got Adara, and Daryl Strawberry still ain't played the game for the Jays.
Not that I know.
Just let it go, Neil. What is